Chapter 1 The Celestial Visitor. In the quaint town of Millfield, life flowed like a gentle stream. Nestled between rolling hills that seemed to touch the sky and lush meadows filled with wild flowers that painted the landscape in a riot of colors, Millfield was a haven of tranquility. Ava, a young and passionate artist, had made this idyllic place her home. Her small cottage, with its thatched roof and a garden brimming with blossoms, was a reflection of her creative soul. Ava's days were a symphony of simple pleasures. She would wake up to the chirping of birds, their melodies filling the air like a natural alarm clock. After a hearty breakfast of freshly baked bread and jam made from the berries she picked in the nearby woods, she would spend hours in her garden, painting the beauty that surrounded her. The way the sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating dappled patterns on the ground, or the way a gentle breeze would make the flowers dance, these were the things that inspired Ava's art. As the sun began its slow descent towards the horizon one particular evening, casting a warm, golden glow over Millfield, Ava found herself on the porch of her cottage. Her easel was set up in front of her, and a half-finished landscape was waiting for her final touches. The canvas held the promise of the day's beauty, the vibrant greens of the meadow, the deep blues of the distant hills, and the fluffy white clouds that seemed to float lazily across the sky. Ava dipped her paintbrush into a pot of yellow paint, adding a touch of sunlight to the scene. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of the roses that climbed up the side of her cottage, and the gentle rustling of the leaves in the breeze provided a soothing backdrop to her creative process. She was so engrossed in her work that she didn't notice the sky gradually changing color as the night started to settle in. The moon, a pale orb, began to rise, casting a silver light over the world. Ava finally put down her paintbrush and stretched, satisfied with the progress she had made on her painting. Deciding to take a break, she stepped off the porch and into her garden. The grass was soft under her bare feet, and she walked slowly, enjoying the peacefulness of the night. As she meandered through the flower beds, her fingers lightly grazing the petals of the dahlias and petunias, Ava suddenly noticed a faint light in the sky. At first, she thought it was a distant plane, its lights twinkling in the darkness. But as she watched, she realized that it was moving in an unusual way. It wasn't following a straight path like an aircraft but was descending slowly, getting brighter with each passing second. Ava's heart skipped a beat, but there was no sense of fear. Instead, a curious excitement welled up inside her. She had always been a firm believer in the magic of the unknown, and this strange light seemed to hold the promise of something extraordinary. She stood still, her eyes fixed on the descending light, as it grew larger and took on a more defined shape. It was a spacecraft, unlike anything she had ever seen in movies or read about in science fiction books. Its body was smooth, with curves that seemed to flow like water, and it was adorned with soft, pulsating lights that changed colors in a mesmerizing pattern. The spacecraft made no sound as it landed gently in the meadow adjacent to her garden, as if it didn't want to disturb the peace of the night. For a moment, Ava stood rooted to the spot, her mind trying to process what she was seeing. Then, as if drawn by an invisible force, she started walking towards the spacecraft. Her steps were hesitant at first, but as she got closer, her curiosity overpowered any remaining trepidation. The hatch of the spacecraft opened with a soft hiss, and a figure emerged. It was a being that resembled a human in many ways, but there were distinct differences that marked it as otherworldly. Its skin had a faint, luminescent quality, as if it was made of stardust, and its eyes were large and almond-shaped, filled with a depth of wisdom that seemed ancient. "Hello, Ava," the being said, not through words spoken aloud but through a gentle, telepathic message that echoed in Ava's mind. "I am Zara, and I come from a distant star." Ava was taken aback for a moment. The realization that she was communicating with an alien from another world was both overwhelming and exhilarating. But Zara's presence was so calming, and the telepathic message was filled with a sense of warmth and friendliness that Ava quickly regained her composure. "Welcome, Zara," she replied, sending her thoughts back, not entirely sure if it would work. To her surprise, Zara smiled, a gesture that was both familiar and comforting. "Your world is so beautiful, Ava," Zara sent, its eyes scanning the garden. "The colors, the scents, they are like nothing I've ever experienced." Ava couldn't help but smile. "I'm glad you like it. It's my little piece of paradise." She looked around at the garden, seeing it through Zara's eyes. The rows of colorful flowers, the small pond with its lily pads, and the old oak tree in the corner, all of it seemed even more beautiful in that moment. Zara stepped forward, its movements fluid and graceful. It reached out a hand towards a rosebush, and Ava watched as it gently touched a rose petal. "These flowers, they are not only beautiful but also carry a unique energy," Zara sent. Ava nodded. "On Earth, we believe that flowers have different meanings. For example, roses are often associated with love." Zara tilted its head, a gesture that seemed to convey curiosity. "Love? It is a concept that is universal, yet it manifests differently in every world. Can you tell me more about how it is expressed through these flowers on Earth?" Ava began to explain how roses were given as gifts to express romantic love, how they were used in weddings to symbolize the union of two people, and how they were often used to comfort those in grief. As she spoke, she realized how much she took these simple things for granted. Zara's questions made her see the world around her in a new light. Zara listened intently, its eyes never leaving Ava's face. "Your world is full of such beautiful traditions and emotions. On my planet, Lyra, we also have ways of expressing similar feelings, but they are intertwined with the energy of the stars." Ava was intrigued. "Tell me about Lyra, Zara. What is it like?" Zara's eyes seemed to light up, and Ava could sense a deep love and pride in its thoughts. "Lyra is a planet bathed in the light of 3 suns. The skies are a kaleidoscope of colors, from the soft pinks and oranges at dawn to the deep purples and blues at sunset. The landscapes are filled with crystal, like structures that reach towards the heavens. These crystals are not just beautiful to look at but also have the ability to store and transmit energy. Ava tried to imagine the world Zara was describing. The thought of 3 suns, each casting a different hue of light, and the tall, shimmering crystals was both fascinating and awe-inspiring. Our people have learned to live in harmony with the energy of the universe, Zara continued. We can communicate with the stars, understand their messages, and use their power for the betterment of our world. We travel between worlds, not to conquer or exploit but to learn and share knowledge. Ava was in awe of Zara's world. It sounds like a utopia, Zara. But why did you come to Earth? Zara looked at Ava, its eyes filled with a soft, affectionate light. I was drawn here by the unique energy of your planet. Earth has a special vibration, a blend of love, hope, and creativity that is truly rare in the universe. I wanted to experience it for myself, to learn from your people, and to share a part of my world with you. Ava felt a sense of pride and humility. The idea that Earth had something special to offer, something that had attracted an alien from a distant star, was a humbling thought. As they continued to talk, Ava showed Zara around the garden. She pointed out the different types of flowers, explaining their names and characteristics. Zara was particularly interested in the lavender, inhaling its sweet scent with a look of pure delight. This scent is so calming, Zara scent. On Lyra, we have plants that emit similar scents, but they are used for different purposes. We use them in our meditation chambers to enhance our connection with the stars. Ava was fascinated by the comparison. On Earth, we also use lavender for relaxation. Many people make lavender scented candles or use lavender essential oil in their baths to unwind. Zara nodded. It is interesting how different worlds can have such similar ways of using nature's gifts. As the night deepened, the conversation between Ava and Zara flowed effortlessly. They talked about the differences and similarities between their 2 worlds, about the challenges they faced, and about the hopes they held for the future. Ava learned that Zara's people had mastered the art of interstellar travel using a technology that harnessed the energy of black holes, a concept that was both terrifying and fascinating to Ava. Zara, in turn, was intrigued by Ava's art. Ava showed Zara some of her paintings that were stored in the cottage. Zara studied each one intently, marveling at the way Ava had captured the essence of Earth's beauty on the canvas. Your art is a window into your soul, Ava, Zara sent. It shows your love for your world, your attention to detail, and your deep connection with nature. Ava blushed at the compliment. Thank you, Zara. Art is my way of expressing what I see and feel. It's like a language that transcends words. As they stood in the cottage, looking at the paintings, Ava couldn't help but feel a sense of connection to Zara. Despite coming from different worlds, they seemed to understand each other on a deeper level. It was as if their meeting was not a random occurrence but a part of some greater cosmic plan. The hours passed quickly, and soon Ava noticed that the sky was starting to lighten in the east. The first signs of dawn were approaching, and Ava realized that the night was coming to an end. Zara seemed to sense Ava's thoughts. "I must go now, Ava. But our connection will remain. You will always be in my thoughts." Ava felt a pang of sadness. She had grown so used to Zara's presence in such a short time that the thought of it leaving was almost unbearable. "I don't want you to go, Zara. But I understand." Zara stepped towards the door of the cottage. "Remember, Ava, the universe is vast and full of wonders. Keep your heart open, and you will continue to discover new things. And who knows, perhaps our paths will cross again in the future." With that, Zara walked out of the cottage and towards the spacecraft. Ava followed, watching as Zara entered the craft. The hatch closed behind Zara, and the spacecraft began to rise slowly into the sky. Ava stood in the meadow, her eyes fixed on the spacecraft as it grew smaller and smaller, until it disappeared into the morning sky. As she walked back to her cottage, Ava knew that her life would never be the same. The encounter with Zara had left an indelible mark on her. She carried with her the memories of their conversations, the lessons she had learned, and the sense of peace that had filled her during their time together. That morning, as Ava sat down to have breakfast, she couldn't help but look out of the window at the meadow where the spacecraft had landed. She knew that somewhere out there, in the vast expanse of the universe, Zara was traveling back to its home planet. And she also knew that their bond, a bond that had formed in the quiet of the night, would always connect them. With a sense of hope and a new, found appreciation for the mysteries of the universe, Ava started her day, eager to see what new adventures life would bring. Chapter 2 – Echoes of the Encounter. After Zara's departure, Ava's days in Millfield took on a new, found depth. The once familiar sights and sounds of the town now carried an undercurrent of something extraordinary. Every flower in her garden, every rustle of the leaves, seemed to hold a secret message from her alien friend. Ava found herself spending more time in her garden, not just to paint but to reflect on the conversation she had with Zara. She would sit on the bench where they had shared stories, her mind filled with images of Lyra, the planet of 3 suns and crystal structures. The memory of Zara's gentle telepathic voice, filled with wisdom and kindness, was like a soft melody that played on repeat in her mind. As an artist, Ava was inspired to create a new series of paintings based on her encounter with Zara. She started with a large canvas, envisioning a scene that combined the beauty of her garden in Millfield with the otherworldly elements Zara had described. She painted the familiar roses and daisies in the foreground, their colors bright and vivid, but in the background, she added tall, glowing crystal structures that reached towards a sky filled with 3 suns of different colors, a pale blue, a warm orange, and a soft purple. As she worked on the painting, Ava lost herself in the process. The brush strokes flowed from her hand as if guided by an invisible force. She could almost feel Zara's presence with her, encouraging her to bring the vision to life. This is my way of sharing our encounter with the world, Ava thought to herself. Meanwhile, in the town of Millfield, life continued its normal pace for most of the residents. But Ava couldn't help but notice little changes in herself. She was more attuned to the energy around her, feeling a deeper connection to the natural world. The simple act of breathing in the fresh morning air felt like a communion with the universe. One day, as Ava was walking through the town square, she noticed a group of children playing. Their laughter filled the air, and Ava couldn't help but smile. But then, she had an idea. What if she could share the sense of wonder and connection she had experienced with Zara with these children? Ava approached the teacher who was watching over the children. "Excuse me," she said. "I was wondering if I could do a little presentation for the children about the universe and different worlds." The teacher, a kind-faced woman named Mrs. Thompson, was intrigued. "That sounds wonderful, Ava. The children are always eager to learn new things. What exactly do you have in mind?" Ava explained her encounter with Zara, leaving out the more extraordinary details for now. She said she wanted to talk about different planets, their unique features, and how there could be life forms out there that were different from what they knew. Mrs. Thompson agreed, and they set a date for the presentation. Ava spent the next few days preparing. She created colorful posters of different planets, including an artist's rendition of Lyra based on Zara's description. She also made a simple model of the solar system using balls of different sizes and colors. On the day of the presentation, Ava arrived at the school with her materials. The children were already sitting in the classroom, their eyes wide with excitement. "Good morning, children," Ava said with a big smile. "Today, we're going to take a journey through the universe." She started by showing them the model of the solar system, explaining how each planet was different from the others. Then, she showed them the posters of far-off planets, talking about their strange atmospheres and landscapes. Finally, she came to the part about Lyra. "Lyra is a very special planet," Ava said. "It has 3 suns, and its skies are filled with the most amazing colors. And there are these tall, crystal-like structures that can store and transmit energy." The children were mesmerized. "Miss Ava, do you think there are aliens on Lyra?" one little boy asked. Ava smiled. "Well, if I were to imagine, I would say yes. Just like there are different animals and people on Earth, there could be all sorts of beings on other planets." As Ava was speaking, she couldn't help but think about Zara. She hoped that one day, these children would also open their minds to the possibilities of life beyond Earth, just as she had. After the presentation, the children had a lot of questions. Some of them were curious about how the crystals on Lyra worked, while others wanted to know if they could ever visit such a planet. Ava answered as best she could, encouraging them to use their imaginations and to keep learning about the universe. As Ava left the school, she felt a sense of fulfillment. She had shared a small part of her encounter with Zara, and she could see the spark of wonder in the children's eyes. It was as if she was planting the seeds of a new way of thinking in their young minds. Back at her cottage, Ava continued to work on her paintings. The series was coming along nicely, and she had started to attract the attention of some local art enthusiasts. One day, a well-known art critic from the city visited Millfield. He had heard about Ava's new paintings through the grapevine and was eager to see them. "Ava, your work is truly remarkable," the art critic, Mr. Henderson, said as he looked at the paintings. "There's a sense of otherworldliness, a depth of imagination that is truly captivating." Ava was thrilled by the compliment. "Thank you, Mr. Henderson. These paintings are very special to me. They're inspired by a unique experience I had." Mr. Henderson looked at Ava curiously. "Care to share what this unique experience was? It seems to have had a profound impact on your art." Ava hesitated for a moment. She wasn't sure if she was ready to reveal the truth about Zara to the world. "It was a dream, a very vivid dream about other worlds," she said, not quite ready to expose the real encounter just yet. Mr. Henderson nodded. "Well, whatever it was, it's translated into some of the most interesting paintings I've seen in a long time. I think you should consider exhibiting these in the city. I'm sure they'll attract a lot of attention." Ava was flattered. The idea of exhibiting her paintings in the city, where more people could see them, was both exciting and intimidating. "I'll think about it, Mr. Henderson. Thank you for the offer." As Mr. Henderson left, Ava couldn't help but think about the potential of sharing her art with a wider audience. But she also knew that with that came the risk of someone delving deeper into the inspiration behind her paintings. She wasn't sure if she was ready to face the world's reaction to the truth about Zara. In the following days, Ava continued to work on her paintings and to think about Mr. Henderson's offer. She also started to receive messages from Zara, not in the form of direct telepathic communication but in her dreams. In these dreams, Zara would show her more of Lyra, the daily life of its people, and the unique ways they interacted with the energy of the universe. One night, Ava had a particularly vivid dream. She saw Zara walking through a field of glowing plants on Lyra. The plants were not like any on Earth, they had long, flowing tendrils that seemed to dance in a silent rhythm. Zara turned to Ava and said, "These plants are a source of energy for us. They absorb the light of the three suns and convert it into a form that we can use." When Ava woke up, she was filled with a sense of wonder. She quickly grabbed her sketchbook and started to draw what she had seen in her dream. The drawing was a detailed representation of the field of glowing plants, their tendrils reaching out in different directions. As she was drawing, Ava realized that these dreams were not just random images. They were Zara's way of continuing their connection, of sharing more of its world with her. And Ava was determined to use these dreams as inspiration for her art, to create a body of work that would not only be beautiful but also a testament to the incredible encounters she had had. Ava also started to do more research on the universe, reading books about astronomy and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. She wanted to understand more about the scientific aspects of what she had experienced with Zara. She learned about different theories of interstellar travel, the formation of planets, and the conditions necessary for life to exist. One day, while Ava was at the local library, she met a young scientist named Dr. Lucas. He was also researching the possibility of life on other planets and was fascinated by Ava's interest in the subject. "Hi, I couldn't help but notice the books you're checking out," Dr. Lucas said with a friendly smile. "You seem really into the search for extraterrestrial life." Ava smiled back. "Yes, I am. It's a topic that has always intrigued me, but recently, I've become even more interested." Dr. Lucas and Ava started to talk. Ava shared some of her ideas about how different planets could have unique forms of life, and Dr. Lucas was impressed by her insights. "You know, Ava, you have a very creative way of thinking. Have you ever considered collaborating on a project related to this?" Ava was taken aback. The idea of collaborating with a scientist was something she had never thought of. "I'm not sure. I'm just an artist, but I do have some ideas that I think could be interesting." Dr. Lucas nodded. "Well, art and science can go hand in hand. Your creative vision could add a new dimension to our research. We could work on a project that combines art and science to explore the possibilities of life on other planets." Ava was intrigued. She thought about how her encounter with Zara could be the starting point for such a project. She could use her art to visualize the different worlds she had learned about, and Dr. Lucas could provide the scientific background. "I'll think about it, Dr. Lucas," Ava said. "It sounds like a really exciting opportunity." As Ava left the library, she couldn't help but feel that her encounter with Zara was leading her down a path of unexpected opportunities. She was no longer just an artist living in a small town. She was on the verge of something bigger, something that could potentially change the way people thought about the universe and the possibility of life beyond Earth. Over the next few days, Ava continued to weigh the pros and cons of collaborating with Dr. Lucas. On one hand, it was a chance to explore her found passion for the universe in a more scientific way. On the other hand, she was still hesitant about revealing too much about her encounter with Zara. One evening, as Ava sat in her garden, looking at the stars, she made a decision. She would agree to collaborate with Dr. Lucas. She knew that she would have to be careful about what she shared, but she also believed that this collaboration could be a way to share the beauty and mystery of the universe with a wider audience. The next day, Ava called Dr. Lucas. "I've thought about it, and I'd love to collaborate with you," she said. Dr. Lucas was delighted. "That's great news, Ava. I think we can really create something amazing together. Let's meet up and start planning our project." Ava hung up the phone, a sense of excitement and anticipation filling her. She knew that this was a new chapter in her life, one that was filled with possibilities. and she was ready to embrace it, with the memories of Zara and the wonders of the universe guiding her way. As Ava prepared for her first meeting with Dr. Lucas, she couldn't help but think about how her life had changed since that fateful night when Zara had landed in the meadow. Her encounter with the alien had opened doors to new experiences, new friendships, and a deeper understanding of the universe. And she was eager to see where this new journey would take her. When the day of the meeting arrived, Ava dressed in her best and headed to the local coffee shop where they had agreed to meet. As she walked in, she saw Dr. Lucas sitting at a table, a stack of papers in front of him. "Hi, Ava," Dr. Lucas said, standing up to greet her. "I'm so glad you decided to join me. I've been thinking about some initial ideas for our project." Ava sat down, a nervous excitement coursing through her. "Me too. I have some sketches and concepts based on my research." Dr. Lucas smiled. "Great. Let's start by sharing our ideas and see where they take us." And so, Ava and Dr. Lucas began their collaboration. Ava showed him some of her sketches of Lyra and the otherworldly landscapes she had envisioned. Dr. Lucas, in turn, shared some of the latest scientific research on exoplanets and the potential for life. As they talked, Ava could feel a sense of synergy between them. Their different perspectives, her artistic vision and his scientific knowledge, seemed to complement each other perfectly. They started to outline a plan for the project, which would include an art exhibition combined with scientific presentations about the search for extraterrestrial life. As the hours passed, Ava knew that this collaboration was not just about creating an science project. It was about sharing the magic of the universe, the wonder that she had experienced through her encounter with Zara, with the world. And she was excited to see how their project would unfold, knowing that it was yet another step in her extraordinary journey. Chapter 3: Unveiling the Cosmic Tapestry. Ava and Dr. Lucas's collaboration was off to a promising start. After their initial meeting, they spent days poring over research papers, scientific data, and Ava's sketches. They decided to name their project Cosmic Horizons, Art and Science in the Search for Extraterrestrial Life. Ava dedicated herself to creating a series of paintings that would bring to life the scientific concepts Dr. Lucas presented. She started with a painting of a hypothetical exoplanet, based on the data of real-life discoveries. The planet had a deep blue ocean that reflected the light of its twin stars, creating a mesmerizing play of colors on its surface. Ava used a combination of watercolors and acrylics to achieve the depth and vibrancy she wanted, layering the paints to mimic the rippling effect of the ocean waves. Dr. Lucas, on the other hand, was busy preparing the scientific part of the project. He was gathering the latest research on the conditions necessary for life to exist on other planets, such as the presence of liquid water, a suitable atmosphere, and the right distance from the star. He also started to plan the layout of the scientific presentations, which would include interactive displays and 3D models. One day, as Ava was working on a painting of a planet with a ring system similar to Saturn's, but with a unique twist. Dr. Lucas arrived at her cottage. He had a stack of papers in his hand, his eyes alight with excitement. "Ava, I just got some new data from a recent space mission," he said, showing her the papers. "There's a new exoplanet discovery that has some really interesting features. It has a magnetic field that's much stronger than anything we've seen before, and it could potentially support a form of life that we've never imagined." Ava was immediately intrigued. "That's amazing, Dr. Lucas. I can incorporate this into my paintings. Maybe I can show how this strong magnetic field affects the planet's atmosphere and the way light interacts with it." She put down her paintbrush and started to make some rough sketches based on the new information. Dr. Lucas watched as Ava's creative mind went to work, transforming scientific data into visual concepts. As they continued to work on the project, Ava couldn't help but think about Zara. She wondered what Zara would think of their project and if there was a way she could incorporate some of the knowledge she had gained from Zara without revealing the true nature of their encounter. One night, Ava had another dream about Zara. In the dream, Zara was showing her a device on Lyra that could detect the energy signatures of different life forms across the universe. Zara explained that this device worked on a principle similar to the way scientists on Earth detected gravitational waves, but it was much more advanced. When Ava woke up, she was filled with an idea. She decided to create a painting that combined the scientific concept of detecting life, energy signatures with the image of the device from her dream. She spent the next few days working on this painting, using metallic paints to give the device a futuristic look and adding a background of swirling galaxies to represent the vastness of the universe. As Ava was putting the final touches on the painting, Dr. Lucas called. "Ava, I've been thinking about how we can make our project more interactive. What if we create a virtual reality experience where people can explore some of the exoplanets you're painting?" Ava was thrilled by the idea. "That's a brilliant concept, Dr. Lucas. It would really bring the project to life. I can work on creating detailed 3D models of the planets based on my paintings, and you can handle the technical aspects of the virtual reality setup." They started to plan the virtual reality experience in earnest. Dr. Lucas reached out to some colleagues who were experts in virtual reality technology, while Ava focused on creating accurate 3D models of the planets she had painted. Meanwhile, the news of Ava and Dr. Lucas's project started to spread in Millfield. The local newspaper ran a story about their collaboration, highlighting the unique combination of art and science. This caught the attention of some local businesses, who offered to sponsor the project. "Ava, this is great news," Dr. Lucas said when he told her about the sponsorships. "We can use the money to improve the quality of the art and the scientific displays, and to promote the project on a larger scale." Ava was overjoyed. "This is really going to help us make our vision a reality. We can reach a wider audience and share the wonders of the universe with more people." With the sponsorships in place, Ava and Dr. Lucas were able to hire a small team to help with the project. There was a graphic designer to assist Ava with the 3D models and the overall visual design, and a team of technicians to work with Dr. Lucas on the virtual reality setup and the scientific displays. As the project progressed, Ava also started to receive more dreams from Zara. In one dream, Zara showed her a beautiful garden on Lyra, filled with plants that not only provided food but also had the ability to heal. The plants had petals that changed color depending on the time of day and the energy of the surrounding environment. Ava was inspired to create a series of paintings based on this dream. She painted the garden in vivid colors, with the plants' petals glowing in different hues. She also added some details about the healing properties of the plants, creating a visual narrative that combined the beauty of the garden with its practical uses. Dr. Lucas was fascinated by Ava's new paintings. "These are truly amazing, Ava. They add a new dimension to our project. We can use these paintings to talk about the different ways life can evolve on other planets, and how it can be both beautiful and functional." As they were working on integrating the new paintings into the project, Ava faced a moral dilemma. She was so inspired by Zara's world that she wanted to share more about it, but she was still worried about how the world would react. She knew that revealing the truth about Zara could potentially change her life forever, and she wasn't sure if she was ready for that. One day, while having lunch with Dr. Lucas, Ava decided to confide in him, but in a more metaphorical way. "Dr. Lucas, I've been thinking a lot about the possibilities of life on other planets. What if there was a world where the people had a much deeper connection to the energy of the universe? A world where they could communicate with plants and use their energy for various purposes?" Dr. Lucas took a moment to think. "That's an interesting concept, Ava. It's not too far-fetched, considering the research we're doing on the potential for different forms of life. There could be planets where the organisms have evolved to interact with energy in ways we can't even imagine." "Why do you ask?" Ava hesitated for a moment. "I was just thinking about how it could be a great addition to our project. We could explore these ideas through my art and your science." Dr. Lucas nodded. "I think it's a great idea. We can use it as a thought experiment, a way to push the boundaries of our understanding of life in the universe." With Dr. Lucas's support, Ava felt more confident in incorporating some of the concepts from Zara's world into the project. She started to create more paintings that showed the connection between the inhabitants of an imaginary planet and the energy of the universe, such as people using the energy of crystals to fly or plants that could sense and respond to human emotions. As the opening of the Cosmic Horizons exhibition drew closer, Ava and Dr. Lucas were working around the clock to finalize everything. The art gallery where the exhibition was going to be held was being transformed into a cosmic wonderland. The paintings were being hung on the walls, the scientific displays were being set up, and the virtual reality experience was being tested. Ava was putting the finishing touches on her largest painting yet, a panoramic view of a fictional universe filled with different planets, each with its own unique features. The painting was a culmination of all her ideas, inspired by Zara, the scientific research, and her own imagination. Dr. Lucas walked into the gallery, looking at the painting in awe. "Ava, this is a masterpiece. It's going to be the centerpiece of the exhibition." Ava smiled, a sense of pride and accomplishment filling her. "Thank you, Dr. Lucas. I hope it will inspire people to look at the universe in a new way." The day of the exhibition arrived. People from all over the region came to see the unique combination of art and science. As they walked through the gallery, they were first greeted by Ava's paintings, which drew them into the world of exoplanets and the possibilities of extraterrestrial life. Then, they moved on to the scientific displays, where Dr. Lucas and his team explained the latest research on the search for life in the universe. The virtual reality experience was a huge hit, allowing people to immerse themselves in the worlds Ava had painted. Ava and Dr. Lucas stood in the corner of the gallery, watching as people interacted with their project. "This is exactly what we hoped for," Dr. Lucas said. "People are really engaged, and they're learning a lot." Ava nodded, a tear of joy in her eye. "It's been an amazing journey, Dr. Lucas. And I feel like this is just the beginning." As the exhibition continued, Ava received a lot of positive feedback. People were fascinated by her art and the way it combined with the scientific information. Some even asked if she had any plans to create more projects like this in the future. One evening, after the exhibition had closed for the day, Ava was alone in the gallery, looking at her paintings. She felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. Her encounter with Zara had led her to this moment, and she was grateful for every step of the journey. As she was about to leave, Ava felt a familiar presence. She turned around, expecting to see Zara. And in a way, she did. In her mind, she heard Zara's gentle telepathic voice. "You have done well, Ava. You have shared the beauty of the universe with others, just as I hoped you would." Ava smiled, knowing that Zara was watching over her. "Thank you, Zara. This is all because of you." With that, Ava left the gallery, looking forward to the next chapter of her life, filled with the knowledge that the universe was full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and that she was now a part of that amazing journey. In the days that followed, Ava and Dr. Lucas started to plan for future projects. They wanted to expand on the cosmic horizons concept, perhaps by collaborating with more scientists and artists from around the world. Ava also decided to continue her exploration of the ideas inspired by Zara, creating more art that would inspire people to think about the universe in new and imaginative ways. One day, Ava received an invitation from a prestigious art school in the city. They had heard about her work in the Cosmic Horizons project and wanted her to give a lecture to their students. "Ava, this is a huge opportunity," Dr. Lucas said when she told him about the invitation. "You can inspire a new generation of artists to explore the intersection of art and science." Ava was nervous but excited. "I know, Dr. Lucas. I'm a bit scared, but I think it could be a great experience. I can share my journey and how my encounter. My interest in the universe has shaped my art. As Ava prepared for the lecture, she reflected on how far she had come. From a simple artist in Millfield to someone who was now making a mark in the art, science community. And she knew that it was all thanks to that one fateful night when Zara had entered her life. When the day of the lecture arrived, Ava stood in front of a room full of young artists. She took a deep breath and began to speak. Hello, everyone. Today, I want to share with you my journey into the world of art and science, and how the mysteries of the universe have inspired my work. As Ava spoke, she showed some of her paintings, explaining the scientific concepts behind them and how she had translated them into art. The students listened intently, asking questions and showing a great deal of interest in her work. After the lecture, several students came up to Ava. Ms. Ava, your work is so inspiring. I never thought art and science could be combined in such a beautiful way, one student said. Ava smiled. I'm glad to hear that. The universe is full of inspiration, and I hope you all will explore it through your art. As Ava left the art school, she knew that her encounter with Zara had not only changed her life but also had the potential to inspire others. And she was excited to see where this found inspiration would take her next. Chapter 4: Cosmic Reverberations and New Frontiers. After the success of the Cosmic Horizons exhibition and her lecture at the art school, Ava found herself in the spotlight. Her work had caught the attention of not only the local art and science communities but also national and international media. Interviews and requests for collaborations poured in from all over the world. Ava was overwhelmed by the response but also determined to stay true to the spirit of her work. She and Dr. Lucas decided to carefully select the opportunities that would allow them to further their mission of exploring the intersection of art and science in the context of the universe. One of the most intriguing offers came from an international space agency. They were planning a new space mission focused on the search for habitable exoplanets and wanted Ava and Dr. Lucas to be part of the project. Their role would be to create a series of art, science installations that would be used to communicate the mission's goals and findings to the public. Ava, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Dr. Lucas said, his eyes shining with excitement. We could be part of a real-life space exploration project and use our work to make it more accessible to people. Ava was equally thrilled. It's amazing, Dr. Lucas. But it also comes with a lot of responsibility. We need to make sure our installations are not only beautiful but also scientifically accurate. They accepted the offer and immediately started to research the space mission. The mission was set to use the latest telescope technology to scan a region of the galaxy that had shown promising signs of hosting habitable planets. Ava and Dr. Lucas studied the scientific papers related to the mission, learning about the methods of detection, the expected characteristics of the exoplanets, and the potential for life. Ava began to conceptualize the art, science installations. She envisioned a large, scale installation that would be a combination of a 3D model of the targeted region of the galaxy and an interactive light show. The 3D model would show the positions of the stars and the exoplanets being studied, while the light show would represent the data collected by the telescopes, such as the intensity of light, the chemical composition of the planet's atmospheres, and the presence of water vapor. Dr. Lucas, on the other hand, worked on the scientific accuracy of the installation. He collaborated with the space agency's scientists to ensure that the data used in the light show was up to date and correct. He also helped Ava understand the more complex scientific concepts so that she could translate them into visual forms effectively. As they worked on the project, Ava continued to have dreams about Zara. In one dream, Zara showed her a unique way of communicating across vast distances in the universe. It involved using a form of energy that could carry information instantaneously, bypassing the limitations of light, speed communication. Ava was inspired by this dream. She thought about how she could incorporate this concept into the art, science installation. She decided to create a small, interactive exhibit within the larger installation that would represent this advanced form of communication. She designed a set of glowing orbs that would light up and move in a pattern, symbolizing the transmission of information through the special energy. As Ava was working on the design of the orbs, she faced a technical challenge. She needed to find a material that would not only glow in the right way but also be able to interact with the surrounding electronics to create the desired movement. She spent days researching different materials, consulting with experts in the field of materials science, and conducting experiments in a small laboratory she had set up in her cottage. Finally, she found a new type of phosphorescent material that could be programmed to react to electrical impulses. With the help of a team of engineers, she was able to create the orbs and integrate them into the installation. Dr. Lucas was impressed with Ava's determination and creativity. "Ava, this is a great addition to the installation. It adds an element of mystery and wonder, just like the universe itself." As the work on the art, science installations progressed, Ava and Dr. Lucas also had to deal with the logistical aspects of the project. The installations were going to be displayed in major cities around the world, and they needed to ensure that they could be transported and set up easily. They worked with a team of designers and engineers to create modular versions of the installations. Each part of the 3D model and the light show components could be disassembled and reassembled quickly, allowing for seamless installation in different venues. Meanwhile, Ava's fame as an artist, scientist was spreading. She was invited to speak at several international conferences on the future of art and science in space exploration. At one such conference in Paris, Ava presented her work on the art, science installations for the space mission. "Ladies and gentlemen, our art, science installations are not just about aesthetics," Ava said, addressing the audience. "They are a way to bridge the gap between the complex scientific research of space exploration and the general public. By using art, we can make the wonders of the universe more accessible and inspire a new generation to look to the stars." The audience listened intently, and after her presentation, there was a flurry of questions and discussions. Many scientists and artists were interested in collaborating with Ava and Dr. Lucas on future projects. Back in Millfield, Ava's neighbors and friends were also proud of her achievements. The small town that had been her home was now a place of inspiration for many, as people saw how one person's encounter with the unknown could lead to such far-reaching projects. One day, while Ava was taking a break from the project, she received a message from Zara in a dream. Zara showed her a beautiful, peaceful world where different species lived in harmony. The inhabitants of this world had learned to respect each other's differences and had developed a society based on cooperation and mutual understanding. Ava woke up with a new sense of purpose. She realized that in all her work related to the universe, she had not yet fully explored the concept of how different life forms could exist. She decided to create a new series of paintings that would focus on this idea. She started with a large canvas, painting a scene of an alien city where different, shaped beings walked the streets, interacting with each other in a friendly manner. Some of the beings had multiple arms, others had glowing auras, but they all seemed to be part of a unified community. As Ava painted, she thought about how this concept could be related to the space mission. What if the exoplanets they were searching for had already developed such harmonious societies? She knew that this was a long shot, but it was an idea that could add a new layer of depth to their work. Dr. Lucas was intrigued by Ava's new paintings. "Ava, these are really thought-provoking. We could incorporate this idea into our installations, perhaps as a future-oriented vision of what we might find in the universe." Ava and Dr. Lucas started to brainstorm ways to integrate this concept into the art-science installations. They decided to create a virtual reality experience within the installation that would show the fictional world of harmonious existence. Users would be able to walk through the alien city, interact with the different beings, and learn about their culture. As the deadline for the art-science installations approached, Ava and Dr. Lucas worked tirelessly to complete everything. The 3D model of the galaxy was finally finished, with every star and exoplanet accurately represented. The light show components were tested and calibrated, and the virtual reality experience was polished to perfection. The first installation was set up in a large museum in New York City. The day of the unveiling was filled with excitement. Scientists, artists, and the general public gathered to see the unique combination of art and science. When the installation was turned on, the 3D model of the galaxy came to life, with stars twinkling and exoplanets orbiting their respective stars. The light show started, displaying the scientific data in a mesmerizing way. And the virtual reality experience was a hit, with people lining up to enter the fictional world of harmonious alien existence. "Ava, this is a huge success," Dr. Lucas said, as they watched the crowd interact with the installation. "Our work is really making an impact." Ava smiled, her heart filled with pride. It's all thanks to our collaboration and the inspiration from Zara, and the universe itself. As the installations were unveiled in other cities around the world, the response was overwhelming. People were not only fascinated by the scientific aspects but also by the artistic vision that brought the universe to life. Ava and Dr. Lucas continued to receive feedback and suggestions from the public. Many people were inspired to learn more about space exploration, and some even started their own art, science projects. One day, Ava received a letter from a young girl in a small town. The girl wrote that she had seen the installation in her city and that it had inspired her to study both art and science. "Your work has made me realize that I don't have to choose between my two passions," she wrote. "I want to be like you and explore the universe through art and science." Ava was deeply touched by the letter. "Dr. Lucas, this is what it's all about. Our work is inspiring the next generation, just as Zara inspired me." Dr. Lucas nodded. "Yes, Ava. And I think this is just the beginning. There are so many more wonders of the universe waiting to be explored, and we can use our art, science approach to share them with the world." As Ava and Dr. Lucas looked towards the future, they knew that there would be more challenges and opportunities. They planned to continue their collaboration, perhaps even working on projects related to the actual discoveries made by the space mission. And Ava was determined to keep exploring the ideas inspired by Zara, using her art to open new doors of understanding about the universe and the possible life forms within it. Ava also decided to start a foundation that would support young artists and scientists who were interested in exploring the intersection of the two fields. She wanted to create a platform where they could share their ideas, collaborate, and receive funding for their projects. The foundation quickly gained traction, with many young people applying for grants and mentorship programs. Ava and Dr. Lucas became mentors to several of the young artists and scientists, guiding them on their journey of exploring the universe through art and science. One of the young artists, a talented painter named Lily, was working on a project that combined the scientific concept of black holes with the beauty of abstract art. Ava and Dr. Lucas provided her with feedback and resources, helping her to refine her ideas. As Ava watched Lily's work progress, she was reminded of her own journey. "Lily, your work is really coming along. Remember, the key is to stay true to your vision and use art to make the scientific concepts more accessible and engaging." Lily nodded, her eyes filled with determination. "Thank you, Ms. Ava. You and Dr. Lucas have inspired me so much. I want to create art that makes people think about the universe in a new way." As the years passed, Ava and Dr. Lucas's work continued to evolve. They were part of several more space-related art, science projects, each one more ambitious than the last. And through it all, Ava's connection with Zara remained a source of inspiration, guiding her to explore new frontiers in the vast cosmic tapestry. One night, as Ava lay in bed, she had a dream where Zara appeared before her. Zara's form was more radiant than ever, and its eyes held a message of hope. "Ava, you have spread the light of knowledge and wonder. But there is still so much more to discover. Keep your heart open to the universe, and you will continue to inspire others. When Ava woke up, she knew that her journey was far from over. She was ready to face new challenges, explore new ideas, and use her art and science to uncover the mysteries of the universe, one brushstroke and one scientific concept at a time. And she was confident that with Dr. Lucas by her side and the inspiration of Zara in her heart, she could make a lasting impact on the way people perceived the cosmos. Chapter 5 – The Cosmic Confluence. Ava's foundation, aptly named Cosmic Horizons Foundation, had become a vibrant hub for young artists and scientists. The success of their art, science installations for the space mission had not only inspired countless individuals but also set a new standard for interdisciplinary projects. Ava and Dr. Lucas found themselves at the center of a growing movement that aimed to break down the barriers between art and science. One day, Ava received an invitation from a renowned international university. They were hosting a symposium on the future of space exploration and the role of art and science in shaping it. The university wanted Ava and Dr. Lucas to be keynote speakers, sharing their experiences and vision for the future. Ava, this is a great opportunity to reach an even wider audience, Dr. Lucas said. We can talk about the impact of our work, the potential of art, science collaborations in space research, and our future plans. Ava agreed. It's a huge honor, Dr. Lucas. But we need to prepare something really special. We can't just talk about what we've done, we need to present some new ideas, something that will inspire the next generation of space explorers. Over the next few weeks, Ava and Dr. Lucas dedicated themselves to preparing their keynote speeches. Ava delved deep into her experiences with Zara, extracting concepts that could be translated into new art, science initiatives. She was particularly inspired by Zara's descriptions of the energy-based technologies on Lyra and how they interacted with the planet's ecosystem. She started to conceptualize a new project. What if we could create a series of installations that simulate the energy flow on an alien planet? Ava proposed to Dr. Lucas. We could use advanced lighting, kinetic sculptures, and interactive displays to show how different forms of energy, like electromagnetic, thermal, and bio-energy, interact with each other and with the life forms on the planet. Dr. Lucas was immediately intrigued. Ava, that's a brilliant idea. We could base it on some of the theoretical models of exoplanetary ecosystems that are emerging in the scientific community. It would be a great way to merge art and science to explore the unknown. As they prepared for the symposium, Ava also worked on a new set of paintings that would accompany their presentation. These paintings depicted the energy-filled landscapes of the fictional alien planet, with glowing plants, floating crystals, and energy-charged beings. Each stroke of the brush was a step towards bringing the concept to life. The day of the symposium arrived, and Ava and Dr. Lucas found themselves in a grand auditorium filled with scientists, artists, students, and space enthusiasts from around the world. As Ava took the stage, she felt a rush of excitement and nervousness. "Ladies and gentlemen," Ava began, "our journey into the world of art, science collaborations and space exploration has been nothing short of extraordinary. It all started with a simple encounter that opened my eyes to the vast possibilities of the universe." She then shared the story of her encounter with Zara, omitting the true nature of Zara as an actual alien for now, and how it had inspired her art. She showed some of her early paintings and how they had evolved over time to incorporate scientific concepts. "Our recent art, science installations for the space mission were just the beginning," Ava continued. "We believe that there is so much more we can do to explore the mysteries of the universe through the lens of both art and science." She then presented her new concept of the energy-based installations. As she spoke, images of her paintings flashed on the screen behind her, showing the audience the vision she had in mind. The audience was captivated, their eyes fixed on the screen as Ava described the potential of such installations to educate and inspire. Dr. Lucas then took the stage. He delved into the scientific aspects, explaining how the proposed installations could be based on real-world scientific theories. "We can use the latest research on exoplanetary atmospheres, energy transfer, and the potential for life to create a scientifically accurate representation of an alien ecosystem," he said. After their presentations, there was a lively Q&A session. The audience was filled with questions about the feasibility of the project, the potential impact on space exploration, and how they could get involved. Ava and Dr. Lucas answered each question with enthusiasm, encouraging the audience to think outside the box and consider the power of art, science collaborations. Back in Millfield, the news of Ava and Dr. Lucas's successful symposium spread like wildfire. The local community was once again proud of their hometown heroes. Ava's cottage became a place of pilgrimage for young artists and scientists from the area, who would come to hear her stories and gain inspiration. As Ava and Dr. Lucas continued to develop the concept of the energy-based installations, they faced several challenges. One of the main difficulties was finding the right technology to create the kinetic sculptures and interactive displays. They needed materials that could withstand different environmental conditions and be programmed to react to various forms of energy. Ava reached out to her network of artists and engineers, while Dr. Lucas consulted with his scientific colleagues. Together, they found a team of researchers who were working on a new type of smart material. This material could change its shape and properties in response to different energy stimuli, making it perfect for their project. With the material in hand, Ava started to design the kinetic sculptures. She envisioned a series of large-scale sculptures that would represent the different energy forces on the alien planet. One sculpture would be a large, rotating sphere that would change color and shape as it interacted with simulated electromagnetic fields. Another would be a set of flexible, plant-like structures that would move and glow in response to bio-energy signals. Dr. Lucas, on the other hand, focused on the scientific accuracy of the energy simulations. He worked on creating a software system that could generate realistic energy patterns and interactions. This system would be integrated with the sculptures and the interactive displays, creating a seamless experience for the viewers. As the project progressed, Ava also received more dreams from Zara. In one dream, Zara showed her a beautiful, crystalline city on Lyra. The city was built in a way that it harnessed the energy of the three suns in a highly efficient manner. The crystals not only served as building materials but also as energy collectors and transmitters. Ava was inspired to incorporate this idea into the project. She designed a part of the installation to be a representation of the crystalline city. She used transparent, light-emitting materials to create a model of the city, with the crystals glowing and interacting with the surrounding energy fields. The construction of the energy-based installations was a massive undertaking. They needed a large space to build and test the components. Ava and Dr. Lucas managed to secure a large, abandoned factory on the outskirts of Millfield. The factory became their workshop, filled with half-completed sculptures, electronic components, and computer systems. One day, while Ava was working on the final details of the crystalline city model, a young journalist named Alex visited the workshop. Alex had heard about their project and was eager to write a feature story about it. "Ava, this is an amazing project," Alex said, looking around the workshop. "The combination of art and science is truly mind-blowing. Can you tell me more about the inspiration behind the crystalline city?" Ava smiled. "Well, Alex, it's inspired by some of the concepts I've been exploring about how different civilizations in the universe might harness energy. The idea of a city built entirely of crystals that can collect and transmit energy is not only fascinating but also has some scientific basis." Alex took notes, his eyes wide with interest. "And how do you think this project will impact the way people perceive space exploration?" Ava thought for a moment. "I hope it will make space exploration more relatable. By creating these immersive installations, we can bring the wonders of the universe down to Earth, so to speak. People will be able to experience, in a small way, what it might be like to be on an alien planet and witness its unique energy systems." As the story was published, it attracted even more attention to the project. People from all over the world were now following the progress of the energy-based installations. Donations started to pour in, from individuals who were inspired by the vision of Ava and Dr. Lucas. With the additional funds, Ava and Dr. Lucas were able to hire more experts to help with the project. They brought in a team of animators to create realistic visualizations of the energy interactions, and a group of sound designers to add an auditory dimension to the installations. The sound designers worked on creating a soundscape that would accompany the energy-based installations. They used a combination of ambient sounds, like the hum of energy fields, the rustling of the kinetic sculptures, and the soft glow of the crystals, to create an immersive auditory experience. As the completion of the installations drew closer, Ava and Dr. Lucas started to plan the exhibition. They wanted to create a multi-sensory experience for the visitors. The exhibition would be divided into different zones, each representing a different aspect of the alien planet's energy ecosystem. One zone would focus on the electromagnetic energy, with large-scale sculptures that would interact with magnetic fields. Another would be dedicated to the bio-energy, where visitors could see the plant-like structures reacting to simulated life force energy. And the crystalline city would be the centerpiece of the exhibition, surrounded by energy fields and interactive displays. Ava also decided to create a series of educational programs to accompany the exhibition. She wanted to make sure that visitors, especially students, could learn about the scientific concepts behind the installations. She developed a curriculum that included lessons on exoplanetary ecosystems, energy transfer, and the role of art in scientific communication. The day of the exhibition's grand opening finally arrived. People from all over the world had come to Millfield to witness the unveiling of the energy-based installations. The old factory had been transformed into a cosmic wonderland. As the doors opened, visitors were greeted by a symphony of lights, sounds, and moving sculptures. They walked through the different zones, experiencing the energy-filled world that Ava and Dr. Lucas had created. The interactive displays allowed them to manipulate the energy fields, change the behavior of the sculptures, and learn about the scientific principles behind it all. Ava, this is beyond my expectations, Dr. Lucas said, as he watched the visitors' faces light up with wonder. We've really created something special. Ava nodded, a tear of joy in her eye. It's all thanks to the team, the inspiration from Zara, and the support of everyone who believed in our vision. The exhibition was a huge success. It received rave reviews from the media, and visitors were left in awe of the art-science fusion. Schools from around the region organized field trips to the exhibition, and students were inspired to pursue careers in both art and science. As the weeks passed, Ava and Dr. Lucas continued to receive feedback from the visitors. Many suggested new ideas for future installations, while others offered to volunteer for their next projects. Ava and Dr. Lucas knew that their work had struck a chord with people, and they were excited to see where their next art-science adventure would take them. One evening, as Ava was walking through the exhibition space, now empty of visitors, she felt a familiar presence. Zara's telepathic voice filled her mind. Ava, you have once again exceeded expectations. Your work is not only a celebration of the universe but also a bridge that connects different worlds of knowledge. Keep exploring, and the universe will continue to reveal its secrets to you. Ava smiled, looking up at the still, glowing crystalline city model. Thank you, Zara. I will. This is just the beginning of our cosmic journey. Ava and Dr. Lucas started to plan their next project. They wanted to explore the concept of time in the context of the universe, using art and science to create an installation that would challenge people's perceptions of this fundamental aspect of existence. With the success of the energy based installations behind them, they were more confident than ever in their ability to push the boundaries of art, science collaborations and continue to inspire others to look to the stars with wonder and curiosity. Chapter 6: The Cosmic Dance of Time. Ava and Dr. Lucas were brimming with enthusiasm as they embarked on their new project centered around the concept of time in the universe. They knew that time was a complex and abstract idea, one that had intrigued philosophers, scientists, and artists alike for centuries. Their goal was to create an science installation that would not only explain the scientific aspects of time but also evoke an emotional and imaginative response from the viewers. Ava began by immersing herself in research on the different scientific theories of time. She delved into Einstein's theory of relativity, which proposed that time is not absolute but is relative to the observer's motion and the strength of the gravitational field. She also studied the concept of time dilation, where time can pass at different rates depending on these factors. Inspired by these ideas, Ava started to sketch out some initial concepts for the installation. She envisioned a large, circular room with a domed ceiling. The walls would be covered in a series of interactive displays, and the center of the room would hold a massive, rotating sculpture. The rotating sculpture could represent the passage of time, Ava explained to Dr. Lucas. We could use materials that change color and texture over time, like certain types of alloys that oxidize in a controlled way. And the interactive displays on the walls could show different time-related phenomena, like the aging of stars, the evolution of life on Earth, and the expansion of the universe. Dr. Lucas nodded in agreement. That's a great start, Ava. We could also incorporate elements of quantum mechanics. There are some theories that suggest time might not be as linear as we perceive it at the quantum level. We could use light-based displays to represent the strange behavior of time at that scale. As they continued to develop the concept, Ava also drew inspiration from her dreams of Zara. In one dream, Zara had shown her a time-traveling device on Lyra. The device was a small, crystalline object that could manipulate the fabric of time, allowing its users to experience different moments in the planet's history. Ava decided to include a nod to this idea in the installation. She designed a small, interactive exhibit within the main room. It would be a replica of the time-traveling device, made of a clear, glowing material. When visitors interacted with it, projections of different time periods, both real and imagined, would appear around them. Dr. Lucas focused on the scientific accuracy of the installation. He worked with a team of physicists to ensure that the representations of time-related phenomena were based on the latest research. They created detailed simulations of how time dilation would affect the appearance of objects in different gravitational fields, which would be projected onto the walls. The construction of the installation was a challenging but rewarding process. Ava and Dr. Lucas faced the task of finding the right materials for the rotating sculpture. They wanted a material that was not only durable but also had the ability to change in a visually interesting way over time. After months of research and experimentation, they found a special type of composite material that could be programmed to react to environmental factors, such as light and temperature, to create the desired color and texture changes. The team of engineers and technicians worked tirelessly to build the large-scale interactive displays on the walls. These displays needed to be high-resolution and capable of showing complex animations and simulations. They also had to be intuitive for the visitors to interact with, allowing them to explore different time-related concepts at their own pace. As the project progressed, Ava also thought about the emotional and aesthetic aspects of the installation. She wanted the overall atmosphere to be one of wonder and contemplation. She worked with a team of interior designers to create a lighting scheme that would enhance the mood. Soft, ambient light would fill the room, with brighter, focused lights highlighting the key elements of the installation, such as the rotating sculpture and the time-traveling device replica. One day, a group of students from a local university visited Ava and Dr. Lucas's workshop. They were studying a combination of art and science and were eager to learn more about the project. Ms. Ava, Dr. Lucas, this project is amazing, one of the students, a young woman named Maya, said. How do you balance the scientific accuracy with the artistic vision? Ava smiled. It's a constant process of collaboration. We start with the scientific concepts, and then we work together to find the best way to translate them into something that is not only informative but also beautiful and engaging. For example, when we were designing the rotating sculpture, we had to consider both the scientific symbolism of its movement and the aesthetic appeal of the material's changing properties. Dr. Lucas added, and we also encourage input from different perspectives. Your generation has fresh ideas, and we're always open to suggestions that can make the installation even better. The students spent the day at the workshop, asking questions and offering their own ideas. Maya suggested using augmented reality, AR, technology to enhance the interactive experience. You could create an AR app that visitors could download. They could then use their smartphones to get more in-depth information about the time-related phenomena and even interact with virtual elements in the installation space. Ava and Dr. Lucas were immediately intrigued by the idea. They decided to incorporate AR technology into the project. They hired a team of AR developers to create the app. The app would allow visitors to scan different parts of the installation and access additional content, such as interviews with scientists, historical footage related to the discovery of time-related concepts, and even fictional stories inspired by the idea of time travel. As the installation neared completion, Ava and Dr. Lucas started to plan the marketing and educational programs around it. They wanted to make sure that the installation reached a wide audience and had a lasting impact. They organized a series of pre-launch events, including lectures and panel discussions on the concept of time in art and science. The day of the installation's opening finally arrived. The venue was filled with scientists, artists, students, and members of the public. As they entered the circular room, they were immediately drawn to the rotating sculpture in the center. Its slow, rhythmic movement and the changing colors of the material were mesmerizing. Visitors then started to explore the interactive displays on the walls. They could use touch screens to learn about the different time-related phenomena, from the birth and death of stars to the evolution of human civilization. The AR app added an extra layer of engagement, with people using their smartphones to uncover hidden content and interact with virtual elements. The small, interactive exhibit of the time-traveling device replica was also a hit. When visitors touched the device, projections of different time periods surrounded them. They could see ancient civilizations, futuristic cities, and even the formation of the universe in a series of immersive visual displays. "Ava, this is a masterpiece," Dr. Lucas said, looking around at the excited crowd. "We've managed to create an installation that truly captures the essence of time in the universe." Ava nodded, feeling a sense of pride and fulfillment. "It's been a long journey, but it was all worth it. And I think this installation will inspire people to think differently about time and its role in the grand scheme of the universe." As the weeks passed, the installation continued to attract visitors from all over the world. It became a landmark in the field of art, science collaborations, and Ava and Dr. Lucas were invited to speak at numerous events to share their experiences and insights. One night, Ava had another dream about Zara. Zara appeared before her in a landscape filled with swirling colors of light, which represented the flow of time. "Ava, your work on time is a testament to your understanding of the universe's complexity," Zara sent telepathically. "Time is a thread that weaves through all existence, and your installation has managed to capture a part of its mystery." Ava replied, "Thank you, Zara. Your inspiration has been a guiding light throughout this project. I hope that through our work, more people will start to appreciate the wonders of the universe and our place in it." Zara continued, "There is much more to explore, Ava. The universe is a vast tapestry of time, space, and energy. Keep your eyes and heart open, and you will uncover more secrets." When Ava woke up, she knew that her and Dr. Lucas's journey was far from over. They had many more ideas for future projects, each one aimed at exploring different aspects of the universe through the unique lens of art, science collaborations. Ava and Dr. Lucas started to plan their next project, which would focus on the concept of consciousness in the universe. They were inspired by the idea that consciousness might be a fundamental aspect of the cosmos, and they wanted to create an installation that would explore this idea from both scientific and artistic perspectives. They began by researching the latest scientific theories on consciousness, including the role of the brain, the possibility of non-biological consciousness, and the idea of a universal consciousness. Ava started to sketch out initial concepts for the installation, envisioning a space that would be a combination of a sensory deprivation chamber and an interactive art gallery. The sensory deprivation chamber could represent the inner journey of consciousness, Ava said to Dr. Lucas. Visitors would enter this dark, quiet space and be encouraged to focus on their own thoughts and sensations. And then, in the interactive art gallery, we could use light, sound, and tactile elements to represent different aspects of consciousness, such as perception, memory, and the connection between different minds. Dr. Lucas was excited about the idea. We could also incorporate some of the latest research on neural networks and artificial intelligence. We could create an interactive exhibit that shows how these systems might relate to the concept of consciousness. As they delved deeper into the planning of the new project, Ava and Dr. Lucas knew that it would be their most challenging yet. But they were also confident that with their combined skills, the inspiration from Zara, and the support of their team, they could create an installation that would once again push the boundaries of art, science collaborations and inspire people to think about the universe in new and profound ways. Chapter 7: The Enigmatic Realm of Cosmic Consciousness. Ava and Dr. Lucas were fully immersed in the planning stages of their new project centered around cosmic consciousness. The concept was both profound and elusive, and they were determined to approach it with a combination of scientific rigor and artistic creativity. Ava spent countless hours reading scientific papers on the nature of consciousness. She explored theories that suggested consciousness could be an emergent property of complex neural networks, as well as those that proposed it might have a more fundamental, perhaps even cosmic, origin. These readings, combined with her intuitive understanding inspired by Zara, led her to some fascinating ideas for the installation. She envisioned a multi-level installation space. The ground floor would house the sensory deprivation chamber, a large, quiet room with soft, dim lighting. The walls would be made of a special sound-absorbing material, creating an environment where visitors could isolate themselves from external stimuli and focus inward. Dr. Lucas, I think we should also use some gentle, ambient sounds in the sensory deprivation chamber, Ava said. Sounds that are barely perceptible, like the faint hum of the universe or the gentle rustling of leaves in a distant forest. These could serve as a kind of guide for the visitors as they explore their inner consciousness. Dr. Lucas agreed. That's a great idea, Ava. It could help create a more immersive experience. We could also use some subtle lighting changes to represent the ebb and flow of thought and awareness. Moving on to the upper levels, Ava planned for an interactive art gallery. The first section of the gallery would focus on the biological aspect of consciousness. She designed a series of large-scale, 3-dimensional artworks that would represent the complexity of the human brain. These artworks would be made of a combination of metal, glass, and light-emitting diodes, LEDs. The LEDs would be programmed to mimic the neural activity in the brain, creating a dazzling display of lights that pulsed and flickered, much like the electrical signals that course through neurons. Dr. Lucas, meanwhile, was busy researching the latest findings in artificial intelligence and its relation to consciousness. He proposed creating an interactive exhibit where visitors could interact with an AI system designed to simulate aspects of consciousness. We could have a touch-screen interface where visitors can ask the AI questions about its perception of the world, Dr. Lucas explained. The AI could then respond in a way that challenges the visitor's understanding of what consciousness means. It could also display visualizations of its internal thought processes, based on neural network algorithms. As they continued to develop the concept, Ava drew inspiration from her dreams of Zara. In one particularly vivid dream, Zara showed her a planet where the entire ecosystem was interconnected through a form of collective consciousness. The plants, animals, and even the inanimate objects seemed to share a common awareness, and their actions were coordinated in a harmonious dance. Ava decided to incorporate this idea into the installation. She designed a section of the gallery that would represent this concept of collective consciousness. It would be a large, open, plan area with a central, spherical structure. The sphere would be made of a transparent material, and inside it, there would be a complex system of sensors and actuators. Visitors could approach the sphere and place their hands on it. As they did, the sensors would detect their body heat, heart rate, and even their brain waves. The actuators would then respond by creating a visual and auditory display that represented the connection between the visitor's individual consciousness and the collective whole. Lights would flash, and sounds would emanate from the sphere, creating a unique experience for each visitor. The construction of the installation was a massive undertaking. The sensory deprivation chamber required precise engineering to ensure the sound, proofing and the proper functioning of the ambient sound and lighting systems. The artworks representing the human brain were complex to create, as Ava had to work closely with a team of sculptors, engineers, and programmers to bring her vision to life. The AI-based interactive exhibit also presented its own challenges. Dr. Lucas and his team of computer scientists had to develop an AI system that was not only intelligent enough to hold a meaningful conversation but also able to generate accurate visualizations of its internal processes. They had to train the AI on a vast amount of data, including philosophical texts on consciousness, scientific research papers, and even works of art. One day, a renowned philosopher, Dr. Amelia Thompson, visited Ava and Dr. Lucas's workshop. She had heard about their project and was intrigued by their attempt to explore consciousness through art and science. "Your project is truly groundbreaking," Dr. Thompson said. "The combination of art and science to explore a concept as complex as consciousness is a novel approach. But I'm curious, how do you plan to incorporate the philosophical aspects of consciousness into the installation?" Ava and Dr. Lucas had been thinking about this very question. Ava replied, "We plan to have a series of quotes and thought-provoking statements from philosophers past and present inscribed on the walls of the gallery. These would serve as a starting point for visitors to engage with the deeper, more abstract aspects of consciousness. Also, the AI exhibit could be programmed to discuss philosophical ideas about consciousness, presenting different viewpoints and challenging the visitor's assumptions." Dr. Thompson nodded in approval. "That's a great way to bridge the gap between art, science, and philosophy. Consciousness is a topic that has been debated by philosophers for centuries, and it's wonderful to see it being explored in such an innovative way." With Dr. Thompson's input, Ava and Dr. Lucas added more philosophical elements to the installation. They also decided to include a small library area in the installation space, where visitors could read books and papers on consciousness, further enhancing their understanding of the topic. As the installation neared completion, Ava and Dr. Lucas started to plan the educational programs and events that would accompany it. They organized a series of pre-launch lectures by philosophers, scientists, and artists, each discussing different aspects of consciousness. The day of the installation's opening finally arrived. The venue was filled with a diverse crowd of people, eager to experience this unique exploration of cosmic consciousness. Visitors first entered the sensory deprivation chamber. As they stepped inside, they were immediately enveloped in a sense of quiet and calm. The gentle ambient sounds and the soft, changing lights guided them into a state of introspection. Some visitors closed their eyes and sat in meditation, while others simply stood still, listening to the faint sounds and observing the subtle lighting changes. After spending some time in the sensory deprivation chamber, visitors made their way to the interactive art gallery. The artworks representing the human brain were a sight to behold. The pulsating lights and the complex structures drew people in, and they spent time studying the details, trying to understand the connection between the physical brain and the concept of consciousness. The AI-based interactive exhibit was a popular attraction. People gathered around the touch screen interface, asking the AI all sorts of questions about consciousness. The AI's responses, along with the visualizations of its internal processes, sparked lively discussions among the visitors. The section representing collective consciousness was also a hit. Visitors queued up to place their hands on the spherical structure and experience the unique display that represented the connection between their individual consciousness and the collective whole. The lights and sounds created a magical atmosphere, and many visitors were left in awe of the experience. Ava, this is a resounding success, Dr. Lucas said, as he watched the visitors interact with the installation. We've managed to create an installation that not only educates but also inspires a deeper exploration of consciousness. Ava smiled, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. It's all thanks to the hard work of the team, the inspiration from Zara, and the input from experts like Dr. Thompson. I hope this installation will continue to spark conversations and new ideas about cosmic consciousness for years to come. As the weeks passed, the installation continued to attract a steady stream of visitors. It received widespread media coverage, and people from all over the world were talking about this innovative approach to exploring consciousness. One night, Ava had a dream where Zara took her on a journey through different planes of consciousness. They visited worlds where consciousness was not limited to physical beings but was a property of the very fabric of the universe. Zara showed her how different forms of energy were manifestations of this universal consciousness. When Ava woke up, she was filled with new ideas for future projects. She knew that the exploration of cosmic consciousness was just beginning, and she and Dr. Lucas had many more avenues to explore. Ava and Dr. Lucas decided to start planning their next project, which would focus on the connection between cosmic consciousness and the concept of multiverses. They were inspired by the idea that different universes, if they exist, might have different forms of consciousness, and there could be a fundamental connection between them. They began by researching the latest scientific theories on multiverses, such as the inflationary multiverse theory and the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. Ava started to sketch out initial concepts for the installation, envisioning a space that would be a vast, interconnected network of rooms, each representing a different universe and its unique form of consciousness. The rooms could be connected by corridors that represent the potential connections between the universes, Ava said to Dr. Lucas. And each room could have its own set of artworks, interactive displays, and sensory experiences that reflect the nature of consciousness in that particular universe. Dr. Lucas was excited about the idea. We could also use virtual reality and augmented reality technologies to create an immersive experience for the visitors. They could explore these different universes and interact with the various forms of consciousness, both physically and virtually. As they delved deeper into the planning of the new project, Ava and Dr. Lucas knew that it would be their most ambitious project yet. But they were ready to take on the challenge, driven by their passion for exploring the mysteries of the universe and their desire to share these wonders with the world. Chapter 8: Unveiling the Multiversal Consciousness. Ava and Dr. Lucas were now fully committed to their new project exploring the connection between cosmic consciousness and the multiverse. The concept was vast and complex, stretching the boundaries of both scientific understanding and artistic imagination. Ava started by immersing herself in the rich tapestry of multiverse theories. She studied the inflationary multiverse, where our universe is just one of many bubbles that have formed during a period of rapid cosmic expansion. She also delved into the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, which posits that every quantum event spawns a new universe, each with a different outcome. These theories became the foundation for her artistic vision. She began to design the layout of the installation space. It would be a large, multi-level complex, with each floor representing a different aspect of the multiverse, consciousness connection. The ground floor would serve as an introduction, with large, informative panels explaining the basic scientific concepts of the multiverse and consciousness. Dr. Lucas, I think we should use a combination of large-scale graphics and simple, easy-to-understand language on these panels, Ava said. We want to make sure that visitors with no prior knowledge of these concepts can still engage with the installation. Dr. Lucas agreed. That's a great approach, Ava. We can also include some interactive elements, like touch screens where visitors can explore basic simulations of multiverse models. Moving to the upper floors, Ava envisioned a series of interconnected rooms, each representing a different universe within the multiverse. The first room, representing a baseline universe similar to our own, would feature artworks that explored the relationship between human consciousness and the physical world. Ava planned to create a large-scale installation made of glass and metal, depicting the human brain as a complex, glowing structure. Inside the structure, LED lights would simulate the flow of neural activity, and projections on the surrounding walls would show how our consciousness interacts with the environment, from perceiving the beauty of nature to the complex thought processes involved in scientific discovery. For other universes, Ava drew inspiration from her dreams of Zara. In one dream, Zara had shown her a universe where consciousness was a fluid, collective entity. In this universe, all beings were connected by a web of energy, and their thoughts and emotions could be shared instantaneously. Ava decided to represent this universe as a large, spherical room. The walls of the room would be lined with a soft, glowing material that reacted to the movement and proximity of visitors. As people entered the room, the glow would intensify, and patterns would form on the walls, representing the flow of collective consciousness. Dr. Lucas, on the other hand, was focused on the scientific accuracy and interactivity of the installation. He worked with a team of theoretical physicists to ensure that the representations of the multiverse were based on the latest research. For the interactive elements, he designed a system where visitors could use handheld devices to manipulate the simulations and visualizations in each room. We can program the devices so that visitors can change the parameters of the multiverse models, Dr. Lucas explained. For example, they can adjust the rate of cosmic expansion in the inflationary multiverse model and see how it affects the formation of universes and the development of consciousness within them. As they continued to develop the concept, Ava and Dr. Lucas faced the challenge of creating a sense of continuity between the different universes. They wanted visitors to feel that they were on a journey through a vast, interconnected multiverse. Ava came up with an idea. What if we use a common thread, like a particular type of energy or a symbol, to connect all the universes? We could create a series of sculptures or artworks that feature this element in each room. And the corridors connecting the rooms could be designed to give the impression of traveling through the fabric of the multiverse. Dr. Lucas thought it was a brilliant idea. We could also use soundscapes to enhance this sense of continuity. A recurring musical motif or a set of ambient sounds could be played throughout the installation, changing slightly in each universe to reflect its unique characteristics. The construction of the installation was a Herculean task. The large-scale artworks required precision engineering and the use of advanced materials. The spherical room representing the universe with collective consciousness was particularly challenging. The team had to find a material that could not only glow but also respond to the movement of visitors in real time. After extensive research, they discovered a new type of smart material that could be programmed to do just that. The interactive handheld devices also needed to be developed from scratch. Dr. Lucas and his team of engineers worked on creating a user-friendly interface that could communicate with the various simulations and visualizations in the installation. One day, a group of graduate students from a nearby university visited Ava and Dr. Lucas's workshop. They were working on research projects related to cosmology and consciousness and were eager to learn more about the installation. Ms. Ava, Dr. Lucas, this project is mind-blowing, one of the students, a young man named Jake, said. How do you plan to incorporate the latest research on the quantum aspects of consciousness into the installation? Ava and Dr. Lucas had been considering this very question. Dr. Lucas replied, "We're planning to have a dedicated room that focuses on the quantum consciousness connection. In this room, we'll use holographic displays to show how quantum entanglement could potentially be related to the non-local aspects of consciousness. Visitors will be able to interact with the holograms and learn about the latest theories in this area." The students were excited by the idea and offered their help. They were well versed in the latest research and could contribute to the development of the quantum consciousness room. Ava and Dr. Lucas welcomed their assistance, and the students became an integral part of the project team. As the installation neared completion, Ava and Dr. Lucas started to plan the grand opening and the educational programs that would accompany it. They organized a series of pre-launch events, including a conference where scientists, artists, and philosophers would come together to discuss the multiverse and cosmic consciousness. The day of the grand opening finally arrived. The installation space was filled with eager visitors, including scientists, artists, students, and members of the general public. Visitors started their journey on the ground floor, where they learned about the basic concepts of the multiverse and consciousness. The informative panels and interactive touch screens were engaging, and many visitors spent a long time studying the scientific models. As they moved to the upper floors and entered the rooms representing different universes, they were greeted with a series of awe-inspiring artworks and interactive experiences. The room with the glass and metal brain installation was a popular stop. Visitors were fascinated by the simulation of neural activity and the projections that showed the connection between human consciousness and the world. The spherical room representing the universe with collective consciousness was a truly immersive experience. As visitors entered, the glowing walls reacted to their presence, and they could feel a sense of being part of a larger, interconnected whole. The quantum consciousness room, with its holographic displays, was also a hit. Visitors were able to interact with the holograms, asking questions, and learning about the complex relationship between quantum mechanics and consciousness. "Ava, this is a masterpiece," Dr. Lucas said, looking around at the excited visitors. "We've managed to create an installation that takes people on a journey through the multiverse and explores the deep connection between consciousness and the fabric of reality." Ava smiled, her heart filled with pride. "It's all thanks to the hard work of the team, the inspiration from Zara, and the contributions of everyone who believed in this project. I hope this installation will inspire a new generation to explore the mysteries of the multiverse and cosmic consciousness." As the weeks passed, the installation continued to attract a large number of visitors. It received rave reviews from the media, and people from all over the world were coming to experience this unique exploration of the multiverse and consciousness. One night, Ava had a dream where Zara showed her even more complex and beautiful aspects of the multiverse. Zara explained that the multiverse was not just a collection of different universes but a living, breathing entity, with consciousness as its life force. Each universe was like a cell in a vast organism, contributing to the overall evolution of consciousness. When Ava woke up, she was filled with new ideas for future projects. She knew that the exploration of the multiverse and cosmic consciousness was a never-ending journey. Ava and Dr. Lucas decided to start thinking about ways to expand the installation. They considered adding more universes, each representing a different theoretical model or a new concept of consciousness. They also thought about creating an online version of the installation, so that people from all over the world could experience it remotely. As they looked towards the future, Ava and Dr. Lucas were excited about the possibilities. They knew that their work was not only about creating art, science installations but also about inspiring a sense of wonder and curiosity about the universe and our place in it. And with Zara's continued inspiration, they were ready to embark on new adventures in the exploration of the multiverse and cosmic consciousness. Chapter 9: Cosmic Echoes and Expanding Horizons. Ava and Dr. Lucas were riding high on the success of their multiverse consciousness installation. The positive response from the public, media, and the academic community had been overwhelming. However, they were not ones to rest on their laurels. Inspired by Ava's latest dream about Zara and the deeper understanding of the multiverse as a living, conscious entity, they began to plan for the expansion and evolution of their project. Ava started by sketching out ideas for new universes to add to the installation. One concept she had was a universe where time and space were intertwined with consciousness in a way that defied conventional understanding. In this universe, consciousness could manipulate the fabric of space-time, creating wormholes and folding distances. Ava envisioned a room filled with large, floating orbs made of a reflective, holographic material. These orbs would represent different nodes of consciousness, and as visitors moved around the room, the orbs would interact with each other, creating visual displays of space-time distortions. Dr. Lucas, I think this new universe could really push the boundaries of our visitors' understanding, Ava said, showing him her sketches. It would be a way to explore the more speculative and mind-bending aspects of the multiverse, consciousness connection. Dr. Lucas studied the sketches intently. Ava, this is truly revolutionary. But we'll need to work closely with theoretical physicists to ensure that the concept has some scientific basis, even if it's on the cutting edge. We can use their models of space-time and quantum gravity to inform the design of the interactive elements. Another idea Ava had was a universe where consciousness was not a property of individual beings but was distributed across an entire ecosystem. In this universe, plants, animals, and the very landscape itself were part of a single, unified consciousness. Ava thought of creating a large, immersive environment for this universe. The room would be filled with real and artificial plants, along with animatronic animals. The plants would be equipped with sensors that could detect environmental changes, and the animatronic animals would respond to these changes in a coordinated way, representing the unified consciousness at work. As they planned these new additions, Ava and Dr. Lucas also focused on creating an online version of the installation. They knew that this would require a significant amount of technical expertise. Dr. Lucas assembled a team of software engineers, 3D modelers, and virtual reality experts. The software engineers were tasked with creating a platform that could handle the complex simulations and interactive elements of the installation. The 3D modelers started by creating digital replicas of the existing artworks and installations. They had to ensure that every detail, from the texture of the materials to the movement of the interactive components, was accurately represented in the virtual world. The virtual reality experts worked on making the online experience as immersive as possible. They designed a virtual tour of the installation, allowing users to move through the different universes, interact with the artworks, and explore the scientific concepts at their own pace. They also added features like 360-degree views, haptic feedback for certain interactions, and the ability to zoom in on specific details. While the online version was being developed, Ava and Dr. Lucas faced the challenge of making the new universes in the physical installation accessible to a wide range of visitors. They had to consider factors such as the size of the rooms, the ease of movement within the space, and the level of interactivity that would be comfortable for everyone. For the universe with the space-time, manipulating consciousness, they had to find a way to make the floating orbs safe and easy to interact with. They decided to use magnetic levitation technology to keep the orbs floating. This would not only add to the otherworldly feel of the installation but also ensure that visitors could move around without the risk of knocking into the orbs. In the ecosystem-based consciousness universe, they had to ensure that the real plants were well maintained and that the animatronic animals were reliable. They hired a team of horticulturists to take care of the plants and a group of robotics engineers to oversee the operation of the animatronic animals. One day, a group of educators visited Ava and Dr. Lucas's workshop. They were interested in incorporating the installation, both the physical and the online versions, into their school curriculums. Ms. Ava, Dr. Lucas, your work is exactly what we need to inspire our students, one of the educators, Mrs. Johnson, said. The way you combine art and science to explore such complex concepts is truly remarkable. But we were wondering if you could develop some educational resources to accompany the installation. Ava and Dr. Lucas were delighted by the request. They had already been thinking about creating educational materials. They decided to develop a series of lesson plans for different age groups. These lesson plans would include background information on the multiverse and cosmic consciousness, activities related to the artworks and interactive elements of the installation, and discussion topics to encourage critical thinking. For younger students, they designed simple, hands-on activities. For example, they created a worksheet where students could draw their own ideas of what a universe with a different form of consciousness might look like. For older students, they developed more in-depth research projects, such as analyzing the scientific theories behind the multiverse and writing essays on the potential implications of cosmic consciousness. As the work on the new universes and the online version progressed, Ava continued to have dreams about Zara. In one dream, Zara showed her a council of beings from different universes. These beings were gathered to discuss the future of consciousness in the multiverse. They were sharing knowledge and ideas, working towards a greater understanding of how to nurture and evolve consciousness across all universes. Ava was inspired by this dream to create a new section in the installation. She envisioned a large, circular room with a central, raised platform. Around the platform, there would be holographic projections of the Council of Beings. The room would be designed to host discussions and workshops on the future of cosmic consciousness. Dr. Lucas was enthusiastic about this addition. Ava, this could be a great way to engage the public in a more active way. We could invite scientists, philosophers, and artists to come and participate in these discussions, and the visitors could be part of the audience, learning from these experts. The construction of the new section, along with the addition of the 2 new universes, was a complex process. The circular room for the council required advanced holographic projection technology. They had to find a way to make the holograms appear lifelike and interactive. The team worked with a company that specialized in holographic displays to develop a custom-made system for the installation. Finally, after months of hard work, the expanded installation and the online version were ready to be unveiled. The day of the re-opening was a grand affair. The installation space was filled with a mix of familiar faces and new visitors. The new universes were an instant hit. The space-time, manipulating consciousness universe left visitors in awe as they watched the floating orbs create beautiful displays of space-time distortions. The ecosystem-based consciousness universe gave visitors a sense of the interconnectedness of all things, as they witnessed the coordinated behavior of the plants and animatronic animals. The circular room for the Council of Beings was also well received. A group of experts was invited to hold the first discussion on the future of cosmic consciousness. The visitors listened intently, asking questions and participating in the lively debate. The online version of the installation was launched simultaneously. People from all over the world logged on to experience the virtual tour. The feedback from the online users was equally positive. They appreciated the ability to explore the installation at their own pace and the immersive nature of the virtual experience. Ava, this is a huge success, Dr. Lucas said, as they watched the visitors interact with the new additions. We've not only expanded our installation but also made it more accessible to a global audience. And the educational resources we developed are already being used by schools, which means we're inspiring the next generation. Ava nodded, her eyes shining with pride. It's all thanks to the team, the inspiration from Zara, and the support of everyone who believed in our vision. I can't wait to see where this journey takes us next." As the days passed, Ava and Dr. Lucas continued to receive feedback from the visitors, both in person and online. Many suggested new ideas for future expansions, such as exploring the relationship between cosmic consciousness and the concept of parallel lives. Ava and Dr. Lucas were excited by these suggestions and started to brainstorm new projects. One night, Ava had a dream where Zara took her on a journey through a part of the multiverse that was filled with pure, unmanifest consciousness. Zara explained that this was the source from which all universes and forms of consciousness emerged. When Ava woke up, she knew that this could be the next big concept for their project. Ava and Dr. Lucas started to research the idea of a source of consciousness in the multiverse. They read ancient philosophical texts from different cultures, as well as the latest scientific speculations on the origin of consciousness. They began to plan a new installation that would explore this mysterious source and its connection to the universes they had already represented. They knew that this new project would be their most challenging yet, but they were filled with excitement and determination. With Zara's continued guidance and the support of their growing community of enthusiasts, they were ready to delve deeper into the mysteries of the multiverse and cosmic consciousness. Chapter 10: The Cosmic Wellspring of Consciousness. Ava and Dr. Lucas were now fully engrossed in the conceptualization of their new project centered around the idea of a cosmic wellspring of consciousness. This intangible yet all-pervading concept was both a philosophical and scientific enigma, and they were eager to approach it with their signature blend of artistic creativity and scientific inquiry. Ava began by immersing herself in a diverse range of literature. She studied ancient Hindu texts that spoke of Brahman, the ultimate reality from which all existence emanates, and the Upanishad concept of Atman, the individual soul's connection to this universal consciousness. In parallel, she delved into modern scientific theories such as the panpsychism hypothesis, which posits that consciousness is a fundamental and ubiquitous feature of the universe. Drawing inspiration from these sources, Ava started to envision the installation space. It would be a large, circular chamber, representing the infinite and all-encompassing nature of the cosmic wellspring. The walls of the chamber would be made of a semi-transparent, phosphorescent material that would glow softly, creating an otherworldly atmosphere. Dr. Lucas, I think the entrance to this chamber should be designed to give visitors a sense of entering a sacred space, Ava said. We could have a narrow passageway lined with symbols representing different aspects of consciousness from various cultures. As visitors move through the passage, they'll be gradually drawn into the heart of the installation. Dr. Lucas nodded in agreement. That's a great idea, Ava. And once inside the circular chamber, we could use a combination of light, sound, and holographic projections to represent the flow of consciousness from the wellspring into the multiverse. Ava further elaborated on her vision. In the center of the circular chamber, she planned to place a large, spherical sculpture. This sculpture would be made of a composite material that could change its appearance based on the energy and vibrations in the room. It would symbolize the core of the cosmic wellspring, pulsating with the potential of all forms of consciousness. Around the central sphere, there would be a series of smaller, floating orbs. These orbs would be connected to the central sphere by thin, glowing filaments, representing the emergence of different universes and their unique forms of consciousness from the wellspring. Each orb would be programmed to display visualizations of the consciousness, related phenomena specific to the universes they represented. For example, one orb might show the neural activity patterns of a highly evolved alien species, while another could depict the collective consciousness of a plant-based ecosystem. Dr. Lucas, meanwhile, focused on the scientific underpinning of the installation. He collaborated with theoretical physicists, philosophers, and cognitive scientists to develop a framework that could explain the concept of the cosmic wellspring in a way that was both scientifically plausible and artistically evocative. We need to find a way to translate the complex scientific and philosophical ideas into something that visitors can understand and engage with, Dr. Lucas said. Perhaps we can use interactive displays around the chamber to explain the different theories of consciousness and its origin. We could also have audio guides available in multiple languages to provide in-depth information. As they continued to develop the concept, Ava faced the challenge of choosing the right materials for the sculptures and the overall installation. The central sphere, in particular, needed to be made of a material that could not only change its appearance but also interact with the visitors in a meaningful way. After extensive research and experimentation, Ava discovered a new type of smart material that could respond to electromagnetic fields, heat, and even the bio-electrical signals emitted by the human body. This material would be perfect for the central sphere, as it could react to the presence of visitors, changing its color, texture, and shape in real time. The floating orbs, on the other hand, would be made of a lightweight, transparent material with embedded micro-processors and LED arrays. These orbs would be suspended in mid-air using magnetic levitation technology, adding to the ethereal feel of the installation. One day, a renowned theoretical physicist, Dr. Alexander Chen, visited Ava and Dr. Lucas's workshop. He had heard about their project and was intrigued by their attempt to explore the cosmic wellspring of consciousness. "Your project is truly fascinating," Dr. Chen said. "The idea of representing such an abstract concept through art and science is a bold and innovative approach. But I'm curious, how do you plan to incorporate the latest research on the quantum entanglement of consciousness?" Ava and Dr. Lucas had been considering this very question. Dr. Lucas replied, "We're planning to use the floating orbs to represent the concept of quantum entanglement of consciousness. We could program the orbs to interact with each other in a way that mimics the non-local correlations observed in quantum entanglement. For example, when one orb is activated by a visitor's interaction, another orb on the opposite side of the chamber could respond instantaneously, regardless of the physical distance between them." Dr. Chen was impressed with their idea. "That's a very creative way to visualize a highly complex scientific concept. I'd be happy to provide any scientific insights or assistance you might need. With Dr. Chen's input, Ava and Dr. Lucas refined their plans for the installation. They also decided to include a section in the installation that would showcase the latest experimental research on consciousness. This section would feature real-time data feeds from ongoing scientific studies, as well as interviews with the researchers themselves. As the construction of the installation progressed, Ava and Dr. Lucas also focused on the sound design. They wanted the soundscape to enhance the overall experience and create a sense of immersion in the world of the cosmic wellspring. Ava worked with a team of sound designers to create a unique auditory experience. The entrance passageway would have a soft, ambient sound that gradually increased in intensity as visitors approached the circular chamber. Inside the chamber, there would be a complex soundscape consisting of a bass frequency that represented the constant, underlying hum of the cosmic wellspring. Over this bass frequency, there would be a series of melodic and rhythmic elements that changed in response to the interactions between the visitors, the central sphere, and the floating orbs. The day of the installation's unveiling finally arrived. The venue was filled with a diverse crowd of scientists, artists, philosophers, and members of the public. As visitors entered the narrow passageway, they were immediately drawn in by the symbols on the walls and the soft, ambient sound. When they stepped into the circular chamber, they were greeted by the sight of the glowing central sphere and the floating orbs. The semi-transparent walls, the changing appearance of the central sphere, and the interactive floating orbs created a mesmerizing visual display. Visitors were encouraged to interact with the installation. As they approached the central sphere, it would respond, changing its color and shape. When they touched one of the floating orbs, it would send a signal to the other orbs, causing them to react in a coordinated manner, demonstrating the concept of quantum entanglement of consciousness. The interactive displays around the chamber provided detailed information about the scientific and philosophical theories of the cosmic wellspring, and the audio guides offered in-depth explanations. The section showcasing the latest experimental research on consciousness was also a popular attraction, with visitors keen to learn about the cutting-edge studies in the field. Ava, this is a masterpiece, Dr. Lucas said, as he watched the visitors' reactions. We've managed to create an installation that not only explores a highly complex concept but also makes it accessible and engaging for a wide audience. Ava smiled, her heart filled with a sense of accomplishment. It's all thanks to the team, the inspiration from Zara, and the support of experts like Dr. Chen. I hope this installation will inspire people to think more deeply about the origin and nature of consciousness. As the weeks passed, the installation continued to attract visitors from all over the world. It received widespread media coverage, and people were fascinated by the unique way Ava and Dr. Lucas had combined art and science to explore the cosmic wellspring of consciousness. One night, Ava had a dream where Zara showed her the impact of their work on the multiverse. Zara explained that their installations were not just for the people of Earth but were also being observed and studied by beings from other universes. The knowledge and understanding they were spreading were contributing to the evolution of consciousness across the multiverse. When Ava woke up, she was filled with a new sense of purpose. She shared the dream with Dr. Lucas, and they both decided to continue their work with even more enthusiasm. They started to plan for future expansions of the installation. They considered adding more interactive elements, such as virtual reality experiences that would allow visitors to explore the journey of consciousness from the wellspring into different universes in more detail. They also thought about collaborating with international artists and scientists to bring in diverse perspectives and further enrich the installation. As they looked towards the future, Ava and Dr. Lucas were excited about the endless possibilities. They knew that their exploration of the cosmic wellspring of consciousness was just the beginning, and they were eager to uncover more of the mysteries of the multiverse and the role of consciousness within it. With Zara's continued inspiration and the support of their global community, they were ready to take their science journey to new heights. Chapter 11 – The Cosmic Tapestry Unraveled. Ava and Dr. Lucas were riding on a wave of inspiration following Ava's dream about the impact of their work across the multiverse. Buoyed by this found purpose, they delved deeper into the planning of future expansions for their cosmic wellspring of consciousness installation. Ava began by sketching out ideas for the virtual reality (VR) experiences. She envisioned a series of immersive journeys that would take visitors on a guided tour of the cosmic wellspring and its influence on different universes. The first VR experience would start with a slow descent into the core of the cosmic wellspring. Using 3D modeling and advanced graphics, visitors would be surrounded by a swirling mass of light and energy, representing the pure, unmanifest consciousness. Dr. Lucas, I want the visitors to feel like they're actually diving into the source, Ava said, showing him her sketches. The colors should be intense, and the sound should be a combination of a deep, resonant hum and high-pitched frequencies that seem to vibrate through their very being. Dr. Lucas studied the sketches with interest. Ava, this is going to be an incredible experience. We'll need to work with a top-notch VR development team to ensure that the graphics, sound, and interactivity are of the highest quality. Also, we should think about how to make the experience educational as well as immersive. Maybe we can include voice-over guides that explain the scientific and philosophical concepts as the visitors explore. As they discussed the VR experience, Ava also had an idea for a new addition to the physical installation. She proposed creating a hall of reflections, a long, narrow corridor lined with mirrors. These mirrors would not be ordinary, they would be embedded with interactive displays that showed the diverse manifestations of consciousness across different cultures and universes. Each mirror could have a touch-sensitive surface, Ava explained. When visitors touch the mirror, it could display images, videos, and text about a particular form of consciousness. For example, one mirror could show the shamanic practices of indigenous cultures, where they believe in a connection to a universal consciousness, while another could display the scientific research on the neural correlates of consciousness in humans. Dr. Lucas was enthusiastic about the idea. This hall of reflections could be a great way to showcase the breadth of human and cosmic understanding of consciousness. We could also include contributions from our international collaborators, making it a truly global exploration of the concept. The process of bringing these ideas to life was no small feat. For the VR experience, Dr. Lucas reached out to a leading VR development studio. They had worked on several high-profile projects and were excited to take on the challenge of creating an otherworldly journey into the cosmic wellspring. The VR team started by creating detailed 3D models of the cosmic wellspring, basing their designs on Ava's sketches and the scientific concepts provided by Dr. Lucas. They spent weeks fine-tuning the graphics, ensuring that the colors were vivid and the textures were realistic. The sound designers worked on creating a dynamic soundscape that would change as the visitors moved through the VR environment. For example, as the visitors approached the core of the cosmic wellspring, the sound would become more intense, with a crescendo of frequencies that would give them a sense of awe and wonder. Meanwhile, Ava focused on the construction of the Hall of Reflections. She worked with a team of engineers and designers to develop the interactive mirrors. The mirrors needed to be durable, yet sensitive enough to respond to touch. The displays embedded in the mirrors had to be high resolution and capable of showing a variety of media, including videos, animations, and text. As they were working on these new additions, Ava and Dr. Lucas also received an invitation to participate in an international art-science festival. The festival was a platform for artists and scientists from around the world to showcase their collaborative work. Ava, this could be a great opportunity for us, Dr. Lucas said. We could present our current installation, as well as our plans for the future expansions. It would also be a chance to network with other artists and scientists and gain new perspectives. Ava agreed. It's a wonderful opportunity. We can also use this as a platform to promote our educational initiatives related to the cosmic wellspring of consciousness. Maybe we can hold workshops and discussions on the festival grounds. They started to prepare for the festival. Ava created a series of new artworks that represented different aspects of the cosmic wellspring and its influence on the multiverse. These artworks included large-scale paintings, sculptures, and digital installations. Dr. Lucas, on the other hand, prepared a presentation that outlined the scientific basis of their work, the impact of the installation on public understanding, and their future plans. The day they arrived at the festival, they were greeted by a vibrant atmosphere. Artists and scientists from all over the world were setting up their exhibits, and there was a sense of excitement in the air. Ava and Dr. Lucas's installation and presentation attracted a large crowd. As they presented their work, they shared the story of their journey, from the initial encounter that inspired Ava to the development of the Cosmic Wellspring of Consciousness installation. They also showed the plans for the VR experience and the Hall of Reflections. The audience was captivated. Many of the artists and scientists were interested in collaborating with Ava and Dr. Lucas on future projects. There were also several educators who were keen to incorporate their work into educational programs in their respective countries. One of the festival attendees, a young artist named Maya from India, approached Ava and Dr. Lucas. "Your work is truly inspiring," Maya said. "I'm particularly interested in the way you've combined art and science to explore the concept of consciousness. I have some ideas about how we could incorporate traditional Indian art forms, like mandalas, into your installation to represent the cyclical nature of consciousness." Ava and Dr. Lucas were intrigued by Maya's idea. They started to discuss potential collaborations, and Maya soon became an integral part of their team. She began to create mandala-inspired artworks that could be integrated into the Hall of Reflections. These mandalas would be not only beautiful but also carry symbolic meaning related to the concept of consciousness. Back at their home base, Ava and Dr. Lucas continued to work on the VR experience in the Hall of Reflections. The VR team had completed the initial prototype, and Ava and Dr. Lucas were among the first to test it. As Ava put on the VR headset, she was immediately transported into the cosmic wellspring. The swirling lights, the intense colors, and the immersive sound made her feel like she was truly part of the experience. She could see the different layers of the wellspring, and as she moved, the environment responded in a seamless manner. "This is amazing," Ava said, taking off the headset. "But we need to make some adjustments. The transition between the different sections could be smoother, and we should add more interactive elements. For example, the visitors should be able to influence the flow of energy in the wellspring in some way." Dr. Lucas nodded in agreement. "We'll also need to ensure that the educational content is integrated more seamlessly. The voice-over guide should be more engaging and interactive, perhaps answering questions that the visitors might have as they explore." For the Hall of Reflections, Maya's mandala-inspired artworks were being installed. The mandalas added a new dimension to the space, with their intricate patterns and symbolic representations. The interactive mirrors were also being tested, and the team was making sure that the touch-sensitive surfaces were working perfectly. One day, a group of international journalists visited their workshop to learn more about the upcoming expansions. Ava and Dr. Lucas gave them a tour of the installation and explained the concepts behind the VR experience and the Hall of Reflections. The VR experience is designed to take the visitors on a journey into the unknown, Dr. Lucas said. It's a way to visualize a concept that is otherwise very abstract. And the Hall of Reflections is a celebration of the diversity of human and cosmic understanding of consciousness. The journalists were impressed. Their articles about Ava and Dr. Lucas's work were published in major international publications, further increasing the global interest in their project. As the completion of the new editions drew closer, Ava had another dream about Zara. In the dream, Zara showed her a future where the understanding of the cosmic wellspring of consciousness had led to a new era of peace and cooperation across the multiverse. Beings from different universes were working together, sharing knowledge, and evolving their consciousness in harmony. When Ava woke up, she was filled with a sense of hope and determination. She shared the dream with Dr. Lucas, and they both knew that their work was not just about creating art and science installations but also about inspiring a better future. They continued to work on the final touches of the VR experience in the Hall of Reflections, eager to unveil them to the world. They knew that these new additions would not only enhance the visitor experience but also contribute to the growing global conversation about the nature of consciousness and its place in the multiverse. Finally, the day of the unveiling of the new additions arrived. The installation space was filled with excited visitors. The VR experience was a huge hit, with people lining up to take their turn to explore the cosmic wellspring. The Hall of Reflections also received rave reviews, with visitors spending hours exploring the interactive mirrors and admiring Maya's mandala-inspired artworks. "Ava, this is a new milestone for us," Dr. Lucas said, as they watched the visitors enjoy the new additions. "Our work is truly making an impact, and I can't wait to see where it takes us next." Ava smiled, looking around at the happy faces of the visitors. "We're on an amazing journey, Dr. Lucas. And I'm sure there are even more wonders waiting for us to discover." As they looked towards the future, Ava and Dr. Lucas started to think about new ways to engage with the global community. They considered creating an online platform where people from all over the world could share their own ideas, artworks, and research related to the cosmic wellspring of consciousness. This platform could be a hub for collaboration, discussion, and the exchange of knowledge, further expanding the reach of their work and contributing to the evolution of understanding about the multiverse and consciousness. Chapter 12: The Cosmic Network of Consciousness. Ava and Dr. Lucas were elated by the success of the new additions to their Cosmic Wellspring of Consciousness installation. The positive reception of the VR experience and the Hall of Reflections had not only validated their creative and scientific efforts but also spurred them on to further expand their vision. Inspired by Ava's dream of a multiversal era of peace and cooperation, they set their sights on creating an online platform that would foster a global community centered around the exploration of cosmic consciousness. Ava took the lead in conceptualizing the online platform. She envisioned a space that was both educational and interactive, where users could not only share their own ideas and creations but also engage in in-depth discussions with like-minded individuals from around the world. "I think the platform should have different sections," Ava said to Dr. Lucas. "One section could be a digital gallery where users can upload their artworks, whether they're paintings, sculptures, or digital installations, related to the cosmic wellspring of consciousness. Another section could be dedicated to scientific research papers, allowing scientists to share their latest findings and theories." Dr. Lucas nodded in agreement. "That's a great start, Ava. We should also have a discussion forum where people can debate different aspects of cosmic consciousness, from its philosophical implications to its potential practical applications. And we could include a section for educational resources, such as video lectures, e-books, and interactive courses." As they started to plan the technical aspects of the platform, Ava and Dr. Lucas realized that they would need a team of web developers, graphic designers, and content managers. Dr. Lucas reached out to his network of colleagues and found a group of experienced web developers who were excited to work on such an innovative project. The web developers began by creating a user-friendly interface for the platform. They designed a clean, modern layout that would be easy to navigate on various devices, from desktops to mobile phones. The digital gallery was designed to showcase the artworks in a visually appealing way, with high-resolution images and the ability for users to zoom in and explore the details. The discussion forum was set up with different sub-forums for different topics, such as scientific theories of consciousness, artistic interpretations of the cosmic wellspring, and multiversal consciousness and society. Users would be able to start new threads, reply to existing ones, and vote on the most interesting discussions. While the web developers were working on the technical infrastructure, Ava focused on gathering educational resources. She reached out to scientists, philosophers, and educators who had contributed to the understanding of cosmic consciousness. Many of them were happy to provide their video lectures, e-books, and research papers for the platform. Ava also started to create her own educational content. She recorded a series of video lectures where she explained the concepts behind the cosmic wellspring of consciousness installation, from the scientific theories to the artistic inspiration. These lectures were designed to be accessible to a wide audience, from beginners to more advanced enthusiasts. Dr. Lucas, on the other hand, worked on establishing partnerships with international organizations and institutions. He wanted to ensure that the platform had credibility and was recognized as a legitimate hub for the study of cosmic consciousness. He reached out to universities, research centers, and art galleries, inviting them to participate in the platform by sharing their resources and promoting it among their members. As the platform was taking shape, Ava and Dr. Lucas faced the challenge of promoting it to a global audience. They knew that simply creating the platform was not enough, they needed to attract users from all over the world. Ava came up with the idea of hosting a virtual launch event. We could invite all the people who have been involved in our projects so far, including the artists, scientists, and educators, Ava said. We can showcase the platform, give demonstrations of its features, and encourage people to start using it. We could also invite some well-known figures in the field of art, science, and philosophy to give keynote speeches. Dr. Lucas thought it was a great idea. They started to plan the virtual launch event, sending out invitations to their extensive network. They also used social media platforms to promote the event, sharing teaser videos and information about the platform's features. The day of the virtual launch event arrived. The online event was hosted on a popular video conferencing platform, and hundreds of people from around the world joined. Ava and Dr. Lucas started the event by giving an overview of the platform. They demonstrated the digital gallery, the discussion forum, and the educational resources section. Then, they invited the keynote speakers. A renowned philosopher, Dr. Sophia Kim, gave a speech on the ethical implications of understanding cosmic consciousness. She talked about how the concept could change the way we view our relationships with other beings, both on Earth and in the multiverse. Next, a leading scientist, Dr. Rajesh Patel, shared his latest research on the potential physical mechanisms underlying cosmic consciousness. His presentation was filled with cutting-edge scientific data and theories, which sparked a lively discussion among the participants. After the keynote speeches, there was a Q&A session, followed by an open discussion where participants could share their thoughts and ideas about the platform. Many of them were excited about the possibilities it presented, and some even volunteered to contribute their own content. As the event came to an end, Ava and Dr. Lucas were overwhelmed by the positive response. They knew that the platform had the potential to become a vibrant global community. In the days following the launch event, the platform started to attract users at a rapid pace. Artists were uploading their artworks, scientists were sharing their research papers, and discussions were taking place in the forum. Ava and Dr. Lucas spent a lot of time moderating the platform, ensuring that the discussions were respectful and that the content was of high quality. One day, a user from Japan, a young scientist named Hiroshi, posted a research paper in the scientific section of the platform. His paper proposed a new theory about the connection between cosmic consciousness and dark energy. The paper was well written and based on extensive research. Ava and Dr. Lucas were impressed by Hiroshi's work. They reached out to him and invited him to participate in a virtual panel discussion on the platform. The panel discussion was focused on the relationship between cosmic consciousness and different aspects of the universe, such as dark matter, dark energy, and quantum mechanics. The panel discussion was a huge success. It attracted a large number of participants, and the discussion was both informative and engaging. Many users who participated in the discussion later posted their own thoughts and ideas in the forum, further enriching the platform's content. As the platform continued to grow, Ava had another dream about Zara. In the dream, Zara showed her a vast network of light connecting all the beings in the multiverse. This network was a manifestation of the cosmic consciousness, and it was through this network that knowledge, love, and cooperation were spreading. When Ava woke up, she was inspired to create a new feature for the platform. She proposed creating a cosmic network map that would visually represent the connections between the users on the platform. The map would show how different ideas, artworks, and research papers were linked together, creating a web of knowledge and creativity. Dr. Lucas was enthusiastic about the idea. The web developers started to work on creating the cosmic network map. They used algorithms to analyze the relationships between the users' contributions, such as who was commenting on whose posts, who was collaborating on projects, and which artworks and research papers were being referenced by others. The Cosmic Network Map was a hit when it was launched on the platform. Users were fascinated by the visual representation of the connections they had made. It gave them a sense of being part of a larger community, and it also helped them discover new content and users that they might not have otherwise found. As the platform continued to evolve, Ava and Dr. Lucas received feedback from the users. Many of them suggested new features, such as a mentorship program where experienced users could guide beginners, or a virtual exhibition space where users could curate their own shows. Ava and Dr. Lucas were excited by these suggestions. They started to plan for these new features, knowing that they would further enhance the platform and make it an even more valuable resource for the global community interested in cosmic consciousness. One night, Ava had a dream where she saw the platform becoming a catalyst for real, world change. People from different cultures and backgrounds were coming together, inspired by the concept of cosmic consciousness, to work on solutions for global problems, such as environmental conservation, social justice, and peace. When Ava woke up, she shared the dream with Dr. Lucas. They both knew that their work had the potential to go beyond the realm of art and science and make a positive impact on the world. They were determined to continue developing the platform, fostering the global community, and using the concept of cosmic consciousness as a force for good. As they looked towards the future, Ava and Dr. Lucas were filled with hope and excitement. They knew that the cosmic network of consciousness they were building, both in the physical installation and the online platform, was a journey without end. There were always new ideas to explore, new connections to make, and new ways to inspire others to understand and embrace the mysteries of the multiverse and the cosmic wellspring of consciousness. Chapter 13 – Cosmic Consciousness in Action. Ava and Dr. Lucas were energized by the potential of their online platform to drive real, world change, as inspired by Ava's dream. They wasted no time in translating their vision into actionable plans. The first step was to focus on the suggestions from the platform users regarding the mentorship program and the virtual exhibition space. Ava took charge of developing the mentorship program. She designed a detailed framework that would match beginners with experienced users based on their interests and areas of expertise. The program would cover a wide range of topics related to cosmic consciousness, from scientific research to artistic expression. I think we should create a profile system where users can indicate their skills, knowledge level, and what they hope to gain from the mentorship, Ava explained to Dr. Lucas. This way, we can pair them up more effectively. For example, an artist interested in learning more about the scientific aspects of cosmic consciousness could be matched with a scientist who has a passion for art and can explain the concepts in an accessible way. Dr. Lucas agreed. That's a great approach, Ava. We should also provide some guidelines for the mentors and ments. The mentors could be given a set of best practices for teaching and guiding, and the ments could have a list of expectations and goals to work towards. Ava started to reach out to the more active and knowledgeable users on the platform, inviting them to become mentors. Many of them were enthusiastic about the idea, seeing it as an opportunity to share their knowledge and contribute to the growth of the community. Meanwhile, Dr. Lucas led the effort to create the virtual exhibition space. He worked with the web developers to design a dedicated area on the platform where users could curate their own exhibitions. The space would have a 3D-like interface, allowing users to arrange artworks, research papers, and other forms of content in a virtual gallery setting. The virtual exhibition space should be highly customizable, Dr. Lucas told the developers. Users should be able to choose different layouts, add interactive elements like audio guides, and even create virtual tours of their exhibitions. The developers got to work, creating a user-friendly interface for the virtual exhibition space. They used the latest web technologies to ensure a smooth and immersive experience for the users. As they developed the space, they also added features like the ability to share exhibitions on social media platforms, increasing the visibility of the users' creations. As the mentorship program and the virtual exhibition space were being developed, Ava and Dr. Lucas also noticed a growing trend on the platform. Many users were starting to discuss how the concept of cosmic consciousness could be applied to solve real-world problems. There were threads in the discussion forum about using the idea of interconnected consciousness to promote environmental conservation, social harmony, and global peace. Ava and Dr. Lucas decided to encourage these discussions and turn them into actionable projects. They created a new section on the platform called Cosmic Consciousness Initiatives. This section would serve as a hub for users to propose, discuss, and collaborate on projects that aim to make a positive impact on the world. Ava wrote a post on the platform, inviting users to submit project ideas. We believe that the concept of cosmic consciousness has the power to inspire real-world change, she wrote. Whether it's a project to promote sustainable living, to bridge cultural divides, or to advocate for peace, we want to hear your ideas. Let's turn our shared understanding of cosmic consciousness into actions that benefit the planet and all its inhabitants. The response was overwhelming. Users from all over the world started to submit project ideas. One user, a group of environmental activists from South America, proposed a project to use the concept of interconnected consciousness to raise awareness about deforestation. They planned to create a series of art installations in urban areas, along with educational workshops, to show how the destruction of forests affects the entire web of life, both on Earth and in the context of cosmic consciousness. Another user, a social worker from Africa, suggested a project to promote social harmony in conflict-ridden areas. The project would involve community-building activities based on the principles of cosmic consciousness, such as organizing inter-cultural events where people could share their stories and experiences, fostering a sense of unity and understanding. Ava and Dr. Lucas reviewed the project proposals and selected a few to support initially. They provided the project teams with resources, such as access to educational materials on the platform, connections to experts in relevant fields, and a small amount of seed funding. For the Deforestation Awareness Project, Ava and Dr. Lucas connected the team with some of the scientists on the platform who could provide accurate data on the environmental impact of deforestation. Dr. Lucas also helped them develop a scientific framework for their art installations, ensuring that they were not only aesthetically appealing but also scientifically informed. For the Social Harmony Project, Ava introduced the social worker to a group of artists who could help create engaging visual and performing arts for the inter-cultural events. She also provided them with some of the philosophical resources from the platform to ground the activities in the concept of cosmic consciousness. As these projects got underway, Ava and Dr. Lucas continued to work on improving the platform. The mentorship program was launched, and the first batch of mentors and ments were paired up. The virtual exhibition space was also opened to the public, and users started to create and share their exhibitions. One of the first exhibitions in the virtual space was curated by a group of young artists. Their exhibition was titled Cosmic Consciousness: Visions of a Better World. It featured a collection of paintings, sculptures, and digital artworks that depicted their interpretations of how cosmic consciousness could lead to a more harmonious and sustainable world. The exhibition also included interactive elements, such as virtual reality experiences that allowed visitors to explore different scenarios of a world transformed by the understanding of cosmic consciousness. The mentorship program was also proving to be a success. Ments were learning a great deal from their mentors, and the exchanges of knowledge and ideas were enriching the entire community. A young scientist who was mentored by an experienced researcher in the field of quantum consciousness was able to develop a new hypothesis about the role of entanglement in cosmic consciousness. He shared his work in the scientific section of the platform, sparking further discussions and collaborations. As the projects inspired by cosmic consciousness were progressing, Ava had another dream about Zara. In the dream, Zara showed her a future where the projects initiated on the platform had spread across the globe. People from different countries and cultures were working together, united by the concept of cosmic consciousness. The world was becoming a more peaceful, sustainable, and harmonious place. When Ava woke up, she was filled with a sense of purpose. She shared the dream with Dr. Lucas, and they both decided to do everything they could to make this vision a reality. They started to organize international conferences and workshops, both online and offline, to bring together the project teams, experts, and interested individuals. The first international conference was titled Cosmic Consciousness: Transforming the World. It was held in a large virtual venue, with participants from over 50 countries. At the conference, the project teams presented their progress, challenges, and future plans. There were also keynote speeches by renowned scientists, artists, and philosophers who shared their insights on how cosmic consciousness could be a driving force for global change. One of the keynote speakers, a Nobel laureate scientist, Dr. Maria Rodriguez, talked about how the understanding of cosmic consciousness could revolutionize the way we approach scientific research. When we consider the interconnectedness of all things at a cosmic level, she said, we are forced to think beyond the traditional boundaries of our disciplines. This could lead to new breakthroughs in areas such as sustainable energy, medicine, and environmental science. Another speaker, a world-famous artist, Mr. Li Wei, shared his vision of how art inspired by cosmic consciousness could be a powerful tool for social change. Art has the ability to touch people's hearts and minds in a way that nothing else can, he said. By creating art that reflects the concept of cosmic consciousness, we can inspire people to see the world in a new light and take action to make it a better place. The conference was a huge success, with many new collaborations and partnerships being formed. The discussions and presentations were recorded and made available on the platform, further expanding the reach of the ideas and inspiring more users to get involved in the projects. As the platform continued to grow and the projects inspired by cosmic consciousness gained momentum, Ava and Dr. Lucas knew that they were on the right track. They were not only creating a space for the exploration of an abstract concept but also making a tangible difference in the world. They looked towards the future with hope and determination, ready to face new challenges and opportunities. They knew that the journey of cosmic consciousness in action was just beginning, and they were excited to see how their community-driven initiatives would continue to evolve and shape the world in the years to come. With Zara's continued inspiration and the support of their global community, they were confident that they could make the dream of a world transformed by cosmic consciousness a reality. Epilogue: Cosmic Convergence and the New Era. Ava and Dr. Lucas stood at the precipice of a new era, one that had been shaped by the collective efforts of the global community on their cosmic consciousness platform. The international conference had been a turning point, igniting a flurry of activity and collaboration that was spreading like wildfire across the globe. The projects inspired by cosmic consciousness were no longer isolated endeavors. The Deforestation Awareness Project in South America had expanded beyond urban art installations. It had evolved into a continent-wide movement, with schools, universities, and local communities joining hands. They were implementing sustainable forestry practices, guided by the understanding that the well-being of the forests was interconnected with the cosmic web of consciousness. In Africa, the Social Harmony Project had led to the establishment of community centers in conflict-ridden areas. These centers were hubs of activity, where people from different ethnic groups came together to learn, share, and create. Through art, music, and cultural exchanges, they were breaking down barriers and building a sense of unity based on the principles of cosmic consciousness. Ava and Dr. Lucas were constantly on the move, traveling to different parts of the world to support these projects. They were not just observers but active participants, sharing their knowledge, experience, and the inspiration they had received from Zara. One day, Ava received a message from a group of indigenous people in the Rhine forests of Southeast Asia. They had heard about the Cosmic Consciousness platform and the projects it had inspired. They invited Ava and Dr. Lucas to visit their community. "Ava, this could be a great opportunity," Dr. Lucas said. "These indigenous communities have a deep-seated connection to the land and a unique understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. We could learn a great deal from them, and in turn, share our global perspective on cosmic consciousness." When they arrived in the rainforest, they were greeted with warm hospitality. The indigenous people showed them their traditional ways of life, which were in perfect harmony with nature. They had a spiritual belief system that emphasized the unity of all beings, from the smallest insect to the tallest tree, and even the stars in the sky. Ava was deeply moved. "This is exactly what we've been trying to promote through our platform," she said. "Their understanding of the world is a living example of cosmic consciousness in action." Over the next few days, Ava and Dr. Lucas engaged in long discussions with the indigenous elders. They shared the scientific and artistic concepts of cosmic consciousness from around the world, while the elders shared their ancient wisdom. It was a profound exchange of ideas, and both parties realized that they were on the same journey, just approaching it from different paths. Back on the platform, the mentorship program was flourishing. Ments had become mentors themselves, creating a cycle of knowledge sharing that was enriching the community. The virtual exhibition space was a vibrant showcase of creativity, with new exhibitions being launched regularly. These exhibitions not only displayed artworks but also presented scientific research, philosophical musings, and real-world projects inspired by cosmic consciousness. The Cosmic Network Map, which Ava had envisioned, had become a visual testament to the growth of the community. It showed a complex web of connections, with users from different corners of the world linked together by their shared interest in cosmic consciousness. The map was constantly evolving, with new connections being formed every day as users collaborated on projects, shared ideas, and learned from each other. One of the most significant developments on the platform was the emergence of cross-disciplinary research groups. Scientists, artists, philosophers, and even engineers were coming together to study the practical applications of cosmic consciousness. A group of physicists and artists were collaborating on a project to create a new type of energy harvesting device inspired by the concept of the cosmic wellspring of consciousness. They hypothesized that if consciousness was indeed a fundamental aspect of the universe, there might be ways to tap into its energy in a sustainable manner. Another group, consisting of philosophers and social scientists, was researching the impact of cosmic consciousness on human values and ethics. They were exploring how the understanding of our interconnectedness at a cosmic level could reshape our moral and ethical frameworks, leading to a more just and compassionate society. As the years passed, the influence of the cosmic consciousness movement spread even further. It began to impact mainstream culture, with books, movies, and documentaries being produced that explored the concept. Schools and universities around the world were incorporating the study of cosmic consciousness into their curriculums, inspiring a new generation of thinkers, creators, and activists. Ava and Dr. Lucas, now considered pioneers of the cosmic consciousness movement, continued to lead by example. They were constantly looking for new ways to expand the reach of the platform and the impact of the projects. One night, Ava had a dream that was different from the previous ones. Zara appeared, but this time, Zara was not alone. There were other beings from different parts of the multiverse, all gathered in a place of pure, radiant light. Zara telepathically communicated with Ava, saying, "Ava, your efforts have not gone unnoticed. The understanding of cosmic consciousness that you have helped to spread is now a beacon across the multiverse. It is fostering connections and cooperation among different worlds." Ava was filled with a sense of awe and humility. When she woke up, she shared the dream with Dr. Lucas. "This is more than we could have ever imagined," she said. "Our work has transcended the boundaries of our planet and is now part of a much larger cosmic story." Dr. Lucas nodded, his eyes shining with excitement. "We need to find a way to share this with the community. It could inspire them to reach even greater heights." They organized a special event on the platform, where they shared Ava's dream and the message from Zara. The community was electrified. Users from all over the world posted messages of inspiration and determination, vowing to continue their work with renewed vigor. The cosmic consciousness movement had truly become a global phenomenon, and its impact was being felt in every corner of the world. The once abstract concept had been translated into tangible actions, from environmental conservation to social justice initiatives, all driven by the understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. As Ava and Dr. Lucas looked back on their journey, they remembered the humble beginnings, Ava's encounter with Zara, the initial art, science installations, and the creation of the online platform. It had been a long and winding road, filled with challenges and triumphs. They also looked towards the future with a sense of anticipation. They knew that there were still many mysteries of the multiverse and cosmic consciousness to be explored. The platform continued to be a breeding ground for new ideas, and they were excited to see where these ideas would lead. One of the new projects on the horizon was a collaboration with space agencies. Scientists on the platform were in talks with these agencies to conduct experiments in space that could further explore the relationship between consciousness and the fabric of the universe. The idea was to see if the principles of cosmic consciousness could be observed or even harnessed in the microgravity environment of space. Another project was focused on using artificial intelligence, AI, to analyze the vast amount of data generated by the platform. The AI would be trained to identify patterns in the way users were approaching the concept of cosmic consciousness, the types of projects that were most successful, and the areas where further research and collaboration were needed. As the cosmic consciousness movement entered its next phase, Ava and Dr. Lucas knew that their role was not to dictate but to facilitate. They were there to support the community, to provide resources, and to help connect the dots between different ideas and initiatives. The world had changed. People were more aware of their place in the cosmic order, and this awareness was driving them to act in ways that were beneficial not only for themselves but for the entire planet and perhaps even the multiverse. Ava and Dr. Lucas had become symbols of hope and inspiration. Their story was told in schools and universities, inspiring young people to think big, to break down the barriers between different disciplines, and to use their creativity and knowledge to make a positive impact on the world. In the end, the cosmic consciousness movement was not just about a scientific theory or an artistic concept. It was about a fundamental shift in human perception, a realization that we are all part of something much larger than ourselves. And as Ava and Dr. Lucas watched the community they had helped to build continue to grow and thrive, they knew that the journey of cosmic consciousness was a never-ending one, filled with endless possibilities for discovery, connection, and positive change.